The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
Chopping up Dolly pieces, streaming real. True crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, there's the route down known. Dolly Vision headlines, King the Beat. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light. Chopping up Dolly Vision, streaming real. True crime scene blast feels so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, there's the route down known. Dolly Vision headlines, King the Beat. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light.
What is up, all my late night people? It is Dolly back in the house again. I know it's 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but hey, I'm awake, so I figured I'd come up here and chop it up with you guys about some true crime. We may tell a little story about the three little bears tonight, okay? But first, of course, leave your DNA on the damn like button just in case you go missing in them hills of Tennessee. Okay, it may be a little flooded, right? There's a lot of people missing tonight, and that is super sad. But of course, if you're brand new here, make sure you sub up, ring the bell for notifications. That way we can hit 60,000 people. We're not that too far from it, and I can do it with the help of each and every one of you watching out there in the ether that has not subbed up the channel yet. I got to give a big congratulations to Huntress, okay? We've been running this season of Turtle Island on my other channel, Dolly Uncensored. Okay, 30 people on the back of a turtle, the greatest show on YouTube. And we narrowed it down to one person, and that person who won tonight was Huntress. So congratulations to Huntress. Also, I think tomorrow we're going to be doing a little fundraiser, okay? And for Huntress, because she's going to Tennessee to help the people, Georgia, Tennessee area, to help people that are trapped in this flood with supplies, waters, blankets, stuff like that. So tonight I donated $150 to Huntress because she's going to be there and Dolly can't be there. So what I can do is give a little bit to help. So tomorrow, not tonight because it's late, tomorrow when I come live, we're going to do a little fundraiser and we're going to give that money to Huntress so she can buy supplies and things that may help the people that are in need in Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina. I don't know exactly what state, what area she's going to, but I know she's going to one of the hard hit areas. And I just wanted to do my part to help since I can't be there right now. So I thought tomorrow would be a good day to help raise a little funds to help her along the way and try to help some of these people that are in need down in these states. Like, I'm here in Virginia on the coast, and the weather here was beautiful. I mean, it sprinkled a little bit, but for the most part, I spent the weekend at the beach, and I didn't realize there were so many people in such big danger because, I thought the hurricane pretty much was just going to hit Florida, tear Florida up a little bit, and that'd be pretty much it, like it usually is. But, a lot of dams overflowed, a lot of dams broke and completely flooded a lot of towns, completely washed some of these towns completely off the map. Baby formula is much needed and water. Yeah, so there's a lot of people starting to help, which it is really good to see our country come together. I always say no matter what side of the fence you're on, if you're Democrat, Republican, that type of stuff don't matter. What matters right now is there's people, our brothers and sisters in these small towns, these communities that are flooded that need our help. So I know everybody can't be there, but like I said, tomorrow we'll do a little fundraiser for that, for the people that are going there to help, so we can assist them. And for the people that are going down there and helping and rescuing people, our first responders, our line workers, our paramedics, our doctors, our police officers, our firefighters, or, just our first responders, the people on the front line of these national disasters. Now, listen, probably our government ain't always the best when it comes to situations like this. We've seen that in Katrina. We're seeing it a little bit in these situations that are going on. Even here in Virginia is flooded in the northern end of Virginia, like near Roanoke and stuff like that. I don't know exactly all them towns out there. Danville, Roanoke area, that part close to Tennessee are really flooded too. So there's a lot of people here in Virginia that needs help. And my vehicles are in the shop, so there's really no way I can go out and help. My car is in the shop getting something is overheating for some reason, so that car is in the shop. My truck is going in the shop most likely tomorrow to get new brakes and new shocks on it. So I'm pretty much kind of trapped here. And I learned about this kind of late, which is kind of sad because Dolly really don't watch the news too much. I don't follow the news, so I was out living my best life. I didn't know so many people were trapped, so many people were missing, and all this stuff. And when I seen what was going on with houses floating down the street and all these animals killed, it broke my heart. So like I said, I donated tonight to Huntress because I know she's going to be there. And it wasn't a lot, but Dolly ain't rich. There's a lot of YouTubers up here, Mr. Beast and your PewDiePies and all these people that make a ton of money. I don't make a ton of money up here, so I'm not rich, but I can give what I can give. And I know that every little bit helps in a situation like this. And that's why I said tomorrow we will do a little fundraiser. Maybe I'll give some soap away and different shirts and whatever to raise funds that we'll send with Huntress or one of the other people that are going to help, and make sure that we do our part to try to help our brothers and sisters in need, right? I would not want to be any of these people. It is super, like when you see the scenes, it's like, and I'm sure most of y'all have seen the stuff by now of everything that's going on in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee real bad, okay? Asheville, Tennessee is pretty much wiped off the map. There's other small communities that are completely gone, houses destroyed. Thousands of people homeless right now, nowhere to go. Some people are still trapped. Okay, so they're still rescuing people. They're still finding bodies, and it's just like I tried. I need to stay informed, but I try not to watch it because it breaks my heart so bad. I hate to see things like this. I hate to see anybody hurting or suffering, and as Americans, we help so many people, right? But there comes a time where we need to help our own people. I don't want to sound political about this, right? But, we send money to all these other countries and we allow all kinds of people to come here and we take care of these people. But when it comes time to take care of our own people, it seems like we slack a little bit in that. And our response time to these disasters is horrible. Like they need to do something to ramp up these response times. I mean, people with private helicopters were flying in to help and trying to rescue people. Now, our government has thousands and thousands of helicopters. Okay. I don't understand why there wasn't more of a rapid response to this. And I'm a little disappointed in the system. Like I know that FEMA and Red Cross and all these people are, are taking part. But like, it seems like there would be something in place so when this starts to happen, that these people rush in. I mean, I'm sure they got to wait for the storm to start, but a lot of this really wasn't even from the storm. It was from mass flooding. Okay. So, most of these places don't really get hit too hard by these hurricanes. KC, thank you so much for gifting that membership. That's awesome of you. Thank you. That's a good way to keep Dolly alive right there, is join up, become a member of the channel. So, like I said, I'm just thinking of something that I could do to help. I'm only one person, but together we are a huge ass team, right? And we can do a lot of good with all of us, right? And I just wanted to touch on that just a little bit. And, so many people have been sending me information and videos and stuff on it today because I covered, some of it. Was it yesterday? I believe it was yesterday. We covered a little bit of it, me and PJ. And it really upset PJ, right? Because, me and PJ both, we love animals. We like pet crazy. Even when we went on a vacation, we went a bunch of places to see animals. Damn sheeps and damn goats and, horses and pigs and just whatever animals we could go see. We just like animals, dogs, cats. I don't really like cats. I'm allergic to cats, but I tolerate them, right? And so to see her so upset about it, and it really cut her pretty deep about the horses and, being corralled and they couldn't get out and, watching that horrific stuff. And like, I gave as many trigger warnings as I could, but like she was so upset. I tried to explain to her. I was like, well, if these people would have tried to free these horses or get them loose, they may have died, so there comes a point where it's too risky, to lose a person over their animal. Like sometimes you got to make this choice. If two people are on a ledge, what person you grab? You know what I'm saying? Like, I love my dog too, but is it worth losing my life to save that life? And some people would say, hell yeah, my dog is like my kid. And if it was my dog, I would have been out there in the flood. You know what I'm saying? But this water came in so fast and flooded so much area so quick that the people, they couldn't do anything. It's just tragic. People were literally on the roofs of hospitals, and unbelievable. I've never seen nothing like it. I seen what went on with Katrina. It was bad. It was flooded pretty good. People were walking around and people were looting. Remember when people were looting, the National Guard had to come in? This was there's been people looting in this. And when people do stuff like this, right? Like, listen, if you need water and you need food and you bust up in a store in a crisis situation, nothing wrong with it, right? Don't get me wrong. If you broke into a Walmart and you took diapers, formula, water, things like that, I have no problem with you. But when you busting in Best Buy and you walking out with a big screen TV, right, while other people are suffering, like, these people need to be locked under the jail, right? Think response was slow because there was no way to enter. All roads were closed and not sure about too many helicopters to land. We need to understand. Yes, I know, but they got damn tanks. They got all kinds of shit. They got vehicles that build bridges, right? That have a bridge on it. They could drive that bitch, hit a button, and the thing flips off the top, opens up a bridge. They have all kind of army equipment. We should have had a better army response, National Guard response, all around better response. Because what I was watching was like, when you would think you'd be seeing hundreds of helicopters in the air. No, not really. So, I get it, that the roads are washed out, but there's people still to this day trapped. I seen a post today. PJ was posting. We were reading it of some people that their driveway was washed out. They couldn't get out their house and they were on oxygen and they were down to one oxygen tank. Hopefully somebody got to those people in time, our elderly people that couldn't escape this complete disaster. It literally looked like bombs went off in some places, right? Like I said, completely gone. And the amount of life that is lost already, it's in the hundreds, right? And thousands of people missing is not a good thing. And as this water recedes, they're still finding dead animals, bodies. And that's why I'm so thankful for, our first responders and the people that do get out in this type of stuff, because it's so dangerous even to try to save people and help people. You're really putting your life on the line. And it people right there are heroes. Okay, this is the time of, like, this is when heroes are made. Okay, and I appreciate everything everybody's doing to help their brothers and sisters that are in need. Okay, so don't think this couldn't happen to any of us, right? It could. I just happened to be where, it didn't flood. The weather wasn't that bad, but you never know. Tornadoes hit. I live in a place where hurricanes hit, and I could just be one of these people that are completely homeless like this from a storm, tornado, hurricane, because I'm in an area that does get hit by a lot of that. Um, so I don't take anything for granted. I know Mother Nature is a beast. Okay, it is a beast. So in true crime today, there's a lot of stuff going on with P Diddy. The other night I told you a little story about the three little bears and what bears I suspected them losing their baby cub. Okay, Timmy, right? So I put out that video, and a lot of people think, I can't say people's names and things like that. That they may be trying to do things to me. That ain't the case. I just choose not to, because I don't want to get involved in all that. Right? I don't want to be tied up with this person's daddy, this person's stepdaddy or mama, or any weirdos on the internet. So I chose just to use code words for people we talk about, fictional people, nobody real, saying nobody real. But, this little baby cub is still missing, right? And now we're seeing Mama Bear and Step Bear try to take part in that. And there's really been no clues. But I have to say, it's better to see them out there late than never. But a lot of people seem to think that a lot of this was a photo op, just an opportunity to take pictures and say, hey, look, see, we're out here searching type thing. And really, all you're doing is standing on the side of the road with a drone. Okay, you're not really looking. You're standing there with a dude that may be looking through his drone. Now, let me tell you this: when I fly my drone, I don't need an army of people with me to fly a drone and look at a screen. And it don't take 4 or 5 people to look at a drone screen. The damn screen's only this big anyway, right? So I don't need 4 or 5 people. Them people that were standing there, they could have been out in the woods searching while that drone was searching a different area. Like, it's almost like a city job. You ever seen the city work? There'd be one person digging and like 5 people standing around watching. It kind of seemed a little bit like that to me. Now, what I would like to see, of course, is Mama Bear, right? Take some responsibility of what's going on. And if she really truly thinks that this cub, Timmy, right, has been kidnapped, then she should be begging and pleading with the public. Super strange behavior. Nothing's changed in the people's behavior, right? Really, it's still bizarre, right? It was bizarre 7 months ago. It is bizarre today. All right. And I don't know. I mean, I do think at this point, everything is a rescue mission, and I don't know how bad that area got hit, Hendersonville. If anybody's from Hendersonville, maybe y'all can tell us about the flood conditions. I know Hawkins County got hit pretty hard. We know some people from there, and they said it's pretty bad there, flooding and stuff like that. So I don't know exactly how bad that part of Tennessee, close to Nashville, got hit. I really don't know. But sometimes there's some good that comes out of flooding, right? I'm mistaken and said Tennessee last time I said this, but Caleb Harris from Texas, right? I don't know why I said Tennessee in the last video. Caleb Harris from Texas, if it hadn't a flood, they wouldn't have found Caleb Harris, because that flooding is what pushed him through that pipe. And, they had searched the manholes and they never found him because he was pushed up into a 15-inch pipe. That water was enough to push him through that pipe to a pump station. Now, they say in the, the baby cub situation, they said that they searched the manholes. But how good did they search the manholes? They looked down in it, or, because we heard stories about this cub before getting out the house and hiding under vehicles or hiding something like that. Now, I watched a lot of these places that people are searching, and a lot of these people, they're just driving around looking, right? They're not really getting out into the woods. They're not really, some of them. Some people are, right? Some people are getting out there and they're doing what they're doing, but then some people are just, fake it till you make it kind of thing. Some of it seems like it's for show. Some of it looks real, like some people are really out there searching, and then some people are just kind of like, I need something to make a YouTube video about. Let me go out here and drive my car around and stand on the side of the road. That ain't going to bring answers. I don't want to hate on anybody looking. It ain't about that, right? So I think the more people that look, the better chances are that this little boy is found. I keep going back to Mama Bear and her actions from day one, all odd, ASF, and hasn't changed since. So I'm still stuck on her and the big bad wolf. Yes, the big bad wolf. Some people call Step Bear the big bad wolf. Let's just say he is the big bad wolf. He seems pretty controlling, but I think some of that is everybody thinks he runs Mama Bear, and I don't really think that's the case. I think Mama Bear has a little more say in things than you think, right? I really don't. Honestly, I don't trust any of the bears. All right, I don't trust any of them. I think they would all eat you. Okay, if they could, all the bears. All the bears to me are not trustworthy bears. And some of the people that surround themselves around the bears, oh my God, like it seems a little crazy, But I still pray and hope that there is an outcome for this. I don't completely know what the outcome would be. The people I think if he did run out, okay, because there's the two possibilities. Somebody did something that was foul play, or this little boy did run up out of this home, this little cub. All right. And let me give these warnings. Dolly Vision is for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, mixed with a little comedy and theories. So don't take nothing here as fact. Okay. Do your own research. Dolly's an idiot. These are just my opinions. Also, the callers, their opinions are theirs and theirs alone, not to reflect on Dolly Vision. All these bears, okay, baby bear, mama bear, step bear, any bear you could think of is innocent to proven guilty in a court of law. All right. So, and also, the big one, the really big one. Don't try to be Dolly at home. It is dangerous. Okay. It is absolutely dangerous. So stay safe and don't try to be me. All right. So like I was saying, how much of this is real? How much of this is show? Right. And I know some of these people watch on YouTube. A lot of these YouTube investigators or YouTube private eyes, or there's a couple of them out here that I respect. I think do a good job. Remember, let's just say Chloe Bear, I thought was really good, helpful, but there's other investigators out here. I know some of you guys may like these people. I just think it's a clown show, really. I don't really back it. Like, I just don't know. Like when I hear private investigator, I think you should be a private. The word private means private, right? But when you're on YouTube, right, how private are you as an investigator? You're not private at all, right? If you're up here, making content out of your cases, is that private? I know it kind of takes away the word private investigator. So I don't really get behind a lot of these people on like former police on YouTube, or private investigators on YouTube, or YouTube lawyers. I'm like, okay, there's a reason you're on YouTube. Just like me. There's a reason I'm here. I'm a fucking idiot. Okay. It's the only job I could get. Right. So that's why I'm here. I don't have no problem saying it. But when I see all these other people, they just don't want to admit they're fucking idiots. Right. And I'm like, am I the only honest idiot out here? Right. And let people know. But I just don't buy into it. Like I'm like, okay, this, and it anytime you have an interest in clicks and views and things, I don't really trust it. I don't trust myself. You know what I'm saying? Because then it becomes, are you making more off of YouTube, or are you making more off being, let's just say, a private investigator? Now there's some people, I guess, that like to hunt. Like me, I'm more like to hunt. I mean, I enjoy sitting here with you guys and chopping it up and talking and stuff like that. But I like to get out in the woods. I like being in the woods. I don't know. So I don't mind going out and searching. And by this summer, I'll be able to search. Of course, I'm getting a little boat, right? I'm going to be able to hook it to my truck and trailer, my command center. And I'll be able to search by land, air, and by foot, because Dolly needs exercise anyway. So I'm been healing up, and I'm not far from hitting the road again. And we got a few trips already planned, okay? Because what am I? I'm leaving, I think Sunday or Monday, and I'm heading down to Savannah to cover the Leilani Simon court case. All right, so I'm going there. Then I'm coming back to Virginia, and I'm jumping on an airplane, and I'm heading to Delphi, Indiana, for the Delphi murders. Okay, Richard Allen's going to court. That is not going to be televised. Okay, so I'm going to be in the court taking notes. Then during breaks, I'm going to be coming out, going live, and telling people what is going on in the Delphi murder case. To me, I could go on this one for a good while, because I truly believe they're not connecting people. I'm one of these people that believe that Keegan Klein has something to do with Sweet Tea. Thank you for joining the Dolly train. Now that's a good way to keep Dolly alive too, and help me on the road, right? So, but get them all aboard, right? Jump on the train, chill out, get you a nice seat, nice window seat. Could get bumpy. You never know with Dolly. So I'm one of these people that believe there's connection to Keegan Klein and Richard Allen, and I kind of feel like they're giving Richard Allen, already it don't seem like a fair case, okay? Because they're trying to throw out, they won't let their expert, they're trying to throw out some of their experts on that unspent bullet casing. They're not going to televise this, and usually when they don't televise stuff, that worries me, because there's a lot of room for corruption. When the public can see it, they know they really can't get away with much, so they try to go straight. But once you take them cameras out the courtroom, then they kind of can get away with things they couldn't get away with cameras being in the courtroom. So anytime there's a high profile case like this, I believe that cameras should be allowed in the courtroom. All right. Now, I do know that they are going to broadcast. I don't know if Court TV is going to cover it, but there will be, I think, a link for Leilani Simon's trial. So basically what we'll do is I'll be in the courtroom, and my channel will be running here from the studio. Okay. And it will broadcast. I'll have PJ set it up before she goes to work, so it broadcasts the trial. If not, I'll be able to do it from my computers in the command center, because now I got Wi-Fi, all that in my command center. So I'll be able to broadcast it from outside the courtroom, and then still be in the courtroom. All right. I won't be able to take my phone in, of course, but then I can still come out, give updates on the Leilani Simon stuff as y'all watch what's going on. Of course, Delphi, I'll be going in and out. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to fly out to Delphi, Indiana. So, and then, there's still a lot of stuff coming up. There's the Stephen Stern stuff in Florida. So we're going to be, I really enjoy hunting. Covering the court cases is kind of like my second kind of thing. But I know Delphi is going to go on for a little bit. So I may do this. This may be the plan. I may shoot down to Georgia, do what I got to do in Georgia. That court case shouldn't be long. And then I may try to go out to the Carolinas and help, because I'm not too far from there. So maybe on the way back, I don't know. I don't know exactly, but we're going to work that out. I'm going to try to do as much as I can do and help as much as I can help from what I got. Now, like I said, if this would have happened later on, I would have had a boat, because my next thing to add to the command center is a boat. So, I mean, I'm not going to add a big boat, but I'm going to have a John boat, motors, side scanning radar, all that type of stuff on my boat. So if this would have happened, of course, I could be out there helping these people right now, but right now, like I said, my car is in the shop. My truck goes in the shop tomorrow. I just got my shocks. So everything was delayed. So I ordered parts for the truck. ordered parts for the car. But with the storm, believe it or not, I guess most of the stuff comes through that way, and shipment has been slow on everything. So be careful in Georgia. More hurricanes are coming. I absolutely know. I've been looking at the weather for that, and it is going to storm a little bit while I'm down there. So, trust me, if it gets too bad, I will go take shelter. For the most part, I'm gonna be staying in my truck and trailer. I got everything in there. I got internet, I got TV, I got Netflix, I got PlayStation. I pretty much got everything I need. My computers, Wi-Fi, um, a little fridge and way to cook. So I got everything right there in my unit. So I'll be okay. I'm not going to do anything too crazy, or if the storm gets bad while I'm down there in Georgia, of course I'll go to a shelter up until it passes. Because right now I don't know how bad the storm's going to be, and I know parts of Savannah right now. The other day they canceled court because of the flooding, so I don't really know how bad even Savannah is, right? So maybe when we open up the phone lines, if any of you guys are from Savannah, or any of these areas that I may be passing through, you can fill me in on what's going on. And I'm not like let's just say JLR. I'm not going to go get in the eye of a hurricane. You know why? Because I love me. Okay, and I'm blessed to be here, and I'm not going to take any unnecessary chances of me getting hit by a tree at traveling at 200 miles an hour, flying through the wind. Or I literally seen, have you ever seen that viral video clip where the reporter's out there and she's reporting on the storm and the stop sign hits her in the face? Has anybody ever seen that? I know it's a viral video on YouTube, right? Yeah, JLR will risk his life for a story, right? And I'll get close to the edge, but I'm not bungee jumping off of it like JLR. He's a brave dude, right? Because a lot of that stuff he was in, it's pretty scary situations. When they start coming in and telling you to write your name on yourself, that they ain't responsible for you if you don't leave. Dolly's leaving. Okay, when they tell me to go, I'm gonna go. You gotta take that stuff serious, and I know a lot of these people in this flooding area, they never thought it was gonna get that bad. They never had a clue. They were like, they hadn't seen nothing like this. This is what they call like 100-year, 500-year storm. They're used to small flooding, may come up to your steps and stuff like that. They ain't used to the whole house being underwater. There was one family that took a viral picture. They were on the roof of a 2-story house, and the water was up to the top of the house. And they took a picture and posted it, and right after that, the house collapsed. Everybody on that roof died, except for the mom. The mom got caught up between 2 logs, and she was rescued and lived. But in a situation like that, man, that's almost worse surviving, because now you survived and your whole family's gone, your home is gone, everything you ever had is gone, and your kids, 4 kids, her husband, and stuff like that is unbelievable tragic, right? So when they say go, you got to go. And man, it reminds me of this. I hate to tell a joke right now, okay, but it was like there was a man stuck on a roof, and they came to him when the flooding started and said, "Hey man, you need to evacuate." And the guy said, "I'm going to put, the Lord will take care of me, right? Nothing's going to happen to me. The Lord will take care of me." And he tells the firefighter that, right? Then the water fills up even more and more, and a boat pulls up. It's like, "Come on, man, get in the boat. I don't want to see you die." And the man tells him, "Hey, I'm going to put my faith in the Lord. He will take care of me." All right. And then now the flood's rushing even more. It's filled all the way up to the roof, and a helicopter comes. And the man, they tell him, "Come on, take the ladder, climb up the ladder," And he goes, "No, I'm going to put, my faith in the Lord. The Lord will take care of me." Next thing you know, the house collapses. The man drowns and dies, and he goes to heaven. And he goes, "God, why did you forsake me? Why didn't you save me?" And God said, "I sent you a firefighter, a boat, and a helicopter. What else you want me to do for you?" It kind of reminds me of that. You have to take, if somebody comes, right? Like, yeah, I appreciate Jesus and shit too, but you need to get the hell out of Dodge, right? And it reminds me of stuff like that. But these people had nobody come for them, right? They were stuck. There was no way for people to get to them. They were basically in the middle of a river that was flowing at crazy speeds, and like, wow, I don't know. I seen one home where the people were getting up in the attic, and the water was filling up to the attic. Like, if you get up in the attic, how the hell are you going to get out? You're pretty much trapping yourself in in a house. Like, I know everybody can't climb trees. We seen bears, right, climbing way up in big trees. I mean, way up. Like, they were finding the biggest trees they could find, and the bears were literally climbing to the tops of these high ass trees. Savannah, Augusta are pretty damn bad. Are they? One Junior Matters, huh? So, I plan on leaving for Georgia. Well, if I'm down there and there's help I can do while I'm in Savannah, because if and that's if they don't push this court case back. But if there's things I can do while I'm down there, or if they do push it back, I will go help. I will go to some of these areas that need some help and try to do what I can do to help. Um, so I got a lot of stuff that's going to be going on. You never know. There may be a trip back to Tennessee, right? So I can look for this baby cub some more. But trust me, when I do that, I'm not going to be, if I do broadcast, I'm going to say I'm somewhere else. I'll be like, I'm in Texas, right? But I'm just not going to let people know where I'm at when I'm in that area, because there's just people, we seeing YouTubers go to jail. We're seeing YouTubers threatened with, you know, legal action and all kinds of, I don't need that drama in my life. We're trying to, do something decent for people. I just, I'm at the age now that I just want to help some people. What's up, Huntress? Huntress is in the room. Congratulations, the Hunters are season 4 Turtle Island champion. All right, hell of a game you played. Honestly, I think the kids helped you out a lot tonight, because people thought the kids were so cute, calling in, wanting to vote for their mama. Like, you got so many kids, right? And I think a lot of people, that touched a lot of people's hearts tonight on Turtle Island. They were like, and they voted for you, right? And a lot of people, I was like, go ahead, Huntress, good job, right? Well played, and a good season, cool people. So if you ain't never checked us out on Turtle Island, right, it's just a little thing we do to break up the true crime, where we put people on a fantasy island and we vote them off one by one. And it started off with 30 people, and the last person to make it tonight and win was Huntress. So good game, good game. So many dang kids, says Dolly Good 66. Yeah, right. Morning from the UK. Good morning, UK. Good to see you guys. It is pretty late here. It's 1:30 a.m. But my sleep schedule's been a little crazy, because I've been sitting up late night watching Blacklist. So, so I'm gonna be, I didn't even wake up today till like noon. So I've been going to bed about, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, somewhere around there. So I got to get my sleep schedule back right before I hit the road. So when I went to the doctor, that was one of my things I talked to the doctor about. I was like, hey, do you think it's safe enough for me to kind of hit the road? And she's like, well, if you're just traveling and you're not doing much, you should be okay. She's like, what I ask you don't do is don't lift anything heavy, right? Which I don't blame her. She's like, because, there's a foreign object in my body, and my body, it tries to reject things like that. So they're giving me these medicines to make sure my body don't try to reject the stent. And she's like, I think you'll be good traveling and getting around, because I want you to exercise. She's like, but what I don't want you to do is, I don't want you hiking up a mountain or nothing. I don't want you going mountain climbing, hiking up a mountain, or doing anything extreme. But if you're doing normal activities, you should be okay. And I was like, okay, good, because I'm ready. Got a little bit of cabin fever. I'm ready to get back out and travel a little bit, and go do these things, cover these cases, go on some of these searches, go try to help some people. And like I said, by next year, at the rate that I'm building everything, like I got the good drone that has the zoom, and just everything I have upgraded, like the truck, and I'm working on the truck, and I got the camper and everything. So my command center's good. And like I said, I only have one more step to be able to, well, two steps, but I won't be able to pull them both at the same time, which sucks. But I want to get a 4-wheeler to help me search by ground, right? And of course, I'm going to get the boat this summer. I may get it in the winter because it's cheaper when it gets cold. Everybody likes to sell shit a lot cheaper because they ain't going to be out on the water in them, right? So they sell them cheaper. In the summertime, you try to buy a boat, it's expensive. The same thing with the 4-wheeler. The only problem is I'm only going to be able to tow one thing. I won't be able to tow the boat and the 4-wheeler. So I had to kind of pick my battles. But them are the last two things I need, right? And them are the last two things I want to get as far as searching. Everything else I got. So, but first I'm going to get the boat because I can always walk, right? My feet work. Um, so that's next on my list, the boat with the radars and stuff like that, so I can search in the water. Not that I'm going to dive in the water, but if I see something of interest, I will pass it on to some of these other divers because there's plenty of those on YouTube, right? You can there's damn AWP, there's the what is it, the narc dives, there's all kinds of people that do diving on YouTube. So like say if I see something on the radar, I'll snap images of it, send it to these divers, and then see if they want to follow up on it. Because Dolly ain't jumping in no damn water. I can tell you that. That's one thing you won't see me doing. I mean, if I swim good, but I'm not diving in no damn deep, dark ass water. Okay, I ain't got superpowers like that. There's professionals that do that stuff, and I'll leave that to them people. But far as searching the water, the banks, and seeing if there's anything in the water, I'm capable of doing that, right? And then still same thing, droning, walking through these woods and stuff like that. So I'm just building my resources to make it a little bit better and a little bit better. So that way I can help people. And even in the searching, I've gotten a lot better at, I know better than really going some places by myself because of the dangers. Like, like we said, Timmy's in the well. It sounds like a joke, right? But like I said, Caleb Harris found in manholes. There's over a couple hundred different people a year that die from falling in manholes. There's a couple hundred people a year die from falling in wells. So that's right there, just in manholes and wells. That's hundreds of people a year die in manholes and wells. That don't even count people falling in rivers, falling off cliffs, mine shafts. You add all that together, that's thousands of people that die a year from weird deaths, unexpected, crazy deaths. You ever remember that show? Like what was it, A Million Ways to Die or 1,001 Ways to Die? That is real, right? There are so many different ways you can lose your life. And the worst thing is you want to help somebody and then you go lose your life. Like me, I'm not going to climb up a side of a mountain searching. I'm not, I don't do rappelling. Well, I have done some rappelling. I can't say I haven't done it. I'm not a professional at it. Okay. So I'm not going to be climbing up no mountains. I'm not, but places I can search fields and wooded areas and things like that I can get to. And then here, the same thing is the buddy system. Always have somebody with you because just in case you do get hurt. And a lot of these places, and it seems the crazy is like, where little baby bear goes missing, the cub, Timmy in the well, right? Whatever y'all want to call it, just to avoid all this crazy confusion on the internet. You never know. You could get hurt out there. But I thought this, if the little boy did get out, this is say little cub was, not liking how step bear and mama bear was treating him, because it don't sound like this cub was treated too good. Okay. And he did run. I know a lot of people don't think that. They believe the mama bear did something. But, we never rule out the possibility that the kid did take off. Kids, believe it or not, thousands and thousands of them a year run away from home. One of the biggest ones that do run away from home, believe it or not, are special needs kids. Okay? So, what they call it? Eloping, right? Where they just take off and run, and it's crazy, but they do it, and then they get confused and don't know their way back. That area that this little cub went missing in, 15-year-old cub, right? I keep saying little, he ain't a baby. 15 years old, but he's still not capable of taking his care of himself. When the cub went missing, the weather was around 34 to 36 degrees, not freezing, but cold as hell. Okay, you wouldn't want to be out right now in some 36-degree weather. It's cold. But the following night, let's just say he went somewhere, he hunkered down. The following night, it got below freezing. No jacket, no shoes. It wouldn't take long for hypothermia to set in, and this kid freeze to death. Sad as that sounds. And there's one thing I did notice a lot around there when you get it from his house. There's a lot of barns, outbuildings, sheds, and I mean it. Some of these woods go for miles, and some of this country land that people own, they own 50 acres, 75 acres, 100 acres, and some of these properties have 15 sheds on them. Barns. What if he climbed up in something to try to get warm, and maybe in some hay or in a loft somewhere in one of these barns, and people, looked in it, didn't see him, but he may be, there was another special needs kid that went missing and almost the same age, and he ended up in a wall. Right? I don't know how you end up in a wall, but he ended up in a wall and they found him. So I guess trying to hide, but I don't know. We can't rule that out. And believe it or not, I don't think this cub is really that far from the house. Now I know the people, I think the Hatfields and McCoys are going to head there and look for him. I think I heard some rumors about that. I may be wrong on that. If I am, sorry. But they had the right thing. When they went out looking for Joseph Crouch, they seen buzzards, and they went to those buzzards. If y'all remember when I was in Tennessee, I was following the buzzards. So when I seen these people doing it, I was like, yo, they're smart. They know what's up, because I've lived in the country long enough to know this, because I'm from Georgia, that when you see buzzards and you see more than one or two of them, there's something dead. Now, it could be a rat, it could be a deer, it could be like when we was in Tennessee, we found deers, right? We found that deer on the side of the road, and there was like 100 buzzards, and I'm stopping. So I see something like that, I'm stopping, and I'm looking, because that's one of the signs. And you got to remember, I was down there early, and I hate to say this, but if you pass away, it's easier to find somebody when there's meat on the bone, okay? I know this is horrible, than when there's not. Okay, because you got to remember, animals are going to eat you. I know it sounds trigger warning. Buzzards are going to eat you. Other animals are going to eat you. All kinds of shit will eat bugs. And it does not take long for you to be completely gone, a skeleton. Okay, and then once you're a skeleton, you're not putting off a smell. Remember, the Hatfields and McCoys, they could smell them. Not only that, but they seen the buzzards flying with meat in their mouth, because there was still meat on the bone. So that alert, and the stench of it alerted them. If you go 7 months later, this is say this cub is in the woods somewhere, there's not going to be a smell. That's gone. Okay? There's not going to be anything on them but a skeleton. And here's the bad thing about that is, then once you're skeleton, animals like to scatter your bones. So you may be a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit over here. And sometimes when people walking through the woods and they see one bone, they don't think nothing of it. They think, oh, that's a deer bone, or that may be a bone to some other animal or something like that. Now, if there's a whole skeleton, of course, you're going to know. You're going to be like, okay, that's a person. But if that stuff has been ripped apart by bears and things like that, and they're scattered, you see one rib bone, you might not recognize that rib bone from a deer rib bone. Some people could. I mean, some people would know. Instant hunters usually would know. But the average person cutting through the woods that ain't a hunter or nothing like that ain't killed animals or skinned animals, they wouldn't know. They would just see a bone. Now, of course, like I said, if you've seen the whole damn skeleton, you would know that's a person. But when you wait so long to go out and look for somebody, you lose the smell. You lose the chance of buzzards or seeing animals in a certain area and going checking what them animals are doing. You lose that. right? And I think we're at the point that where if he was out in the woods or out on his own and something tragically did happen to him, he's a skeleton. There's not going to be anything. And he was a small child, right? A small little cub. I mean, he wasn't too long. He's probably bigger than me, right? But even me, look at Brian Laundry, right? And you got to remember, the whole summer's passed with Tennessee weather is hot. I mean, anybody in Tennessee, you can vouch for me. It gets hot as shit in Tennessee. So, I mean, it ain't Vegas hot, but it's hot and humid. So, he wasn't, Brian Laundry in 2 weeks, he was skeletal remains gone. They found a damn jawbone and stuff like that, right? We got 370 likes and 715 people in the chat. Well, almost 800 people in the chat. All right, look, here's a good way to get y'all to like the video. It works sometimes. It works. Listen, I want you guys to hit the like for me. Don't do me dirty. I came up here to hang out with you at 2 o'clock in the morning. I could be watching my show, right? Hit the like for me, and when you do, I want you to shout out in the chat room where you're watching from. So now it's time to represent your city, your town, your hood. Don't be cheating. I can see you. Just because I'm half-ass blind, I'm looking right at you. Look, with a crooked eye. That eye look crooked as hell. But I'm looking at you with my crooked eye. So make sure don't cheat. Hit the like button. And then shout out where you're watching my ugly ass face from. Okay. I see Missouri, New Mexico, um, Oklahoma, Minnesota. Tina G, thank you. That's a good way to keep me alive. Jump on the Dolly train. It's good to see you. I see Savannah, Georgia. Miss Ann Horn, how is the flooding down there? I'll be down there in a week. Okay. London, UK. Texas is in the house. Roswell, New Mexico. Somebody's from Tiffany Beach, my hometown, Columbus, Georgia, right? It's been so many years since I've been to Columbus. Chicago. I was talking about Columbus, Georgia today to PJ, and I was like, well, I live, at the border of Alabama, Phoenix City. And I was like, I didn't know there was a beach in Georgia. I didn't. The first time I ever went to the beach was in Virginia. I didn't even know Georgia was on the ocean when I was a kid, right? So I thought you had to go to Virginia to get to the beach because I went to the beach for the first time with my family here in Virginia. And I never knew there was an ocean in Georgia. And I was telling her that today when I was a small child, right? I was like, I didn't know there was a damn beach. I live near the border of Alabama, Southern Missouri, Seattle, Washington, Southern California, Jacksonville, North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia. Yeah, humidity is ridiculous here in Tennessee. More Georgia. We got a lot of Georgia in the house. Night Turtle Island. Thank you, Huntress. Louisiana, Pennsylvania, Australia, Arkansas, South Africa. What's up, South Africa? All my international people, it is good to see you. I'm glad y'all watch my damn redneck face. I don't know why, but thanks for being here with me and hanging out. Oklahoma, all over the place. Okay. Virginia, Mississippi, Arkansas, Oregon, Texas, Indiana, Texas, Wyoming, Kentucky, Washington State, Eastern Tennessee, Portland, Oregon, South Carolina. Okay, Illinois, Vancouver. Is that what that says? Canada, yeah. Uh, is that Doraville, Georgia? Waco, Texas. Okay, the Branch Davidians. All right. I don't have my glasses on tonight, guys. Dolly, Georgia. I don't even know where they're at. I think they're in my truck from the trip we went on. Open the phone lines and I'll tell you. Okay, I will open the phone lines. Let me pull up the call-in number. And we're just open discussion tonight. We're just talking anything true crime. So anything that you guys want to discuss tonight, you're more than welcome to. Now, the Three Little Bears case, keep it to Little Bears because I don't want to get caught up in any of these court battles with any of these damn people. So let's and then anybody else, you ain't really got to worry about code words or anything. What up, Richard? What you got? Yeah. Uh-huh. On the front of the boat. What, put the four-wheeler in the boat? I didn't even think about that. Uh, I didn't even think about that. I just know I can only pull one. Uh-huh. Yeah. Let me read this super chat real quick. Deborah says, "You and PJ are awesome. Trigger warning for Katrina. A friend took his airboat to New Orleans and put his boat in and said when he seen bodies tied to trees, he threw up, took his boat out and left." Oh my God. I think I don't know if I'll get sick. The only thing I can't handle real good. Oh, hold on. They can't hear you. Hold on. Let me share the screen. I forgot that I didn't have you on. Hold on.
Weekend, and I'll send you some
Um,
photos.
you would have to send me your number on Facebook. I don't keep anybody's numbers that call the call
Yeah,
in line.
yeah.
I think Miss Ann's trying to call in, but hold on 1 minute, Miss Ann.
Oh, I can hang up. It's not a big deal, bro. If you need to talk to her, if you want to find out about that, I was just going to tell you about the boat. I can't send the photos into your call-in number.
Yeah, you can. You can send it to my
When I get into town this
and
week,
just
I
make
get
sure
off
you
on
put
Friday.
just make sure you put your name up there so I know it's you.
Yeah, I'll
'Cause I
put
don't.
Richard McKinney from Victoria, Texas, and
Yeah, because
then it'll be the boat
I
with the
don't keep
four-wheeler on the front.
anybody's number. Like people think I have their number. Oh, you have my number because you call
Well,
in
no,
every
I
time.
figured on caller ID and like text messages you
Yeah,
would
but
have it. But
I get
cool.
thousands of calls between
Yeah,
Turtle.
that's true.
Yeah, I can't tell whose number's who. You know.
Yeah, but I'll put my name and contact information with it, and then I'll send you the pictures because it's pretty easy. It's just 2 ramps, and if you need a set, I can
Well,
send you my brother's a welder.
they sell all kinds of ramps. So let me see how you got your setup, and if there's something
Yeah, it's just
I
a
can
basically a
do.
16-foot flat bottom with the reinforced front end. Like on almost all your river boats, the front end is reinforced for like your seats or like a trolling motor or whatever you want to call
Yeah.
the front. That's where I park my four-wheelers, right on the front of it.
Okay. Well, see, I didn't even think
Ratchet
about
strap
that.
it down, hook it up. I pull it down to the porta conner and throw it in and go duck hunting and then come back. And it's just pretty
I mean,
easy
my
that way.
truck is pretty slow with the trailer. I mean, it'll do the speed limit, but I
No, but
can
it'll balance it out.
when
If you
I
put a little more weight right behind that camper, it will balance it out because that shell has so much air inside it that's what's making you
well,
swervy. When you add weight, it will. If you added a heavier bumper in the back, it would make it a lot more comfortable to drive.
I just added the cool over shocks so the
Mm-hmm.
truck can hold more weight. Each shock holds
Yeah.
up to 1,200 pounds. So, because
There you go.
that camper I got is pretty heavy, and in time I load all my shit in it, I'm toting around thousands of pounds. So,
Yeah, but it's got a lot of airspace inside it because it's a hull. So what I was saying is if you do get one of the bumpers from like a trucker's equipment that has like maybe the toolboxes in the bumpers where they're a little bit heavier, it'll
uh-huh.
make it a lot easier to drive down the road.
Yeah, because I
You
got
add some weight at the very back.
okay. Let me take this call from Miss Ann because
Yeah,
I can tell
take
this is
that
a
call,
Georgia
bro.
number.
But I'll send you some photos when I get back.
All right, peace. Dolly. Hello.
Hey,
Hey, what's up, Miss Ann? How you doing?
not too good.
I knew the 912 number was Georgia. I can remember the area code for Georgia.
Yeah, my tumor's gotten worse.
Has it?
Yeah, they put me on palliative care this month.
What is that? That ain't hospice, is it?
It's the step before hospice.
Oh, okay. Well, are you still going through treatment and medicines and?
Yeah,
But don't give up,
yeah.
Miss Ann. Don't give up the fight,
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not.
and just take care of
My crushed
yourself. Like
disc is gotten.
nobody goes before their time, Miss Ann.
Yeah, and I got a crushed disc. It's 2 inches from the tumor.
Oh,
They cannot operate.
in your back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a terrible back myself, Miss Ann, so I feel the pain on that one.
That's real bad.
I messed my
That
back
hurt.
up when I was in my 20s, and I got a car wreck, and yeah, it's been messed up ever since.
All right, so down here, Well, you know I'm out in the country,
Uh-huh.
a little ways from town,
Yeah.
but all the main roads out here by me were flooded,
How flooded?
where we couldn't go nowhere.
Okay.
And now that's all cleared up.
Uh-huh.
That's all good now. In town, it's good. Everybody's moving along. The problem is when Thursday night, when the winds came, my buddy that's a meteorologist at weather at the damn TV station, he called me or texted me, which I didn't see the text until today
Uh-huh.
because I've been without everything. No power, no water, no cell, no nothing. It's been hell. I lost all my groceries. I have no food here, nothing.
Uh-huh.
I cleaned out the entire refrigerator today, threw everything away. And I've still got to clean out the freezers. And we lost the winds here in my area was 70 miles per hour plus. I was up all night long Thursday night.
You
Woke up,
you're still in the trailer, right?
yeah,
Okay.
got up Friday. I went to bed at 6 o'clock Friday morning when the winds quit, and got up at 9 a.m. And I got a tree that uprooted. It's leaning on my porch roof. One of the limbs came through the screen of my porch.
You want me to bring a chainsaw with me, Miss Ann? I got a chainsaw.
I'm trying to get help for that. Some
Yeah.
of my tarp came off the roof, which a buddy of mine finally came over today and re-tarped the roof. So that's a good thing.
Okay.
My yard is a mess. As you know, I'm on those pills, so I can't be in the sun. So I'm not able to get out there and pick up all the pine tree limbs and all that stuff. So,
I mean, I can come out there when I get there. I can cut some stuff up for you and pick up some of the small stuff. I just can't lift anything heavy.
I can't bend over. I got that crushed disc.
Oh, I can bend over. I just can't lift heavy things. I shouldn't be lifting over like 25 pounds.
They're not that heavy. It's just a matter I can't get out there and pick up anything.
Now, I can cut it up. The big stuff I can cut up for you, you know. But
well, the big stuff, the only big stuff is this tree that needs to be uprooted.
How big of a tree?
It's pretty damn big.
Oh, okay.
My camellia bush is real big, and the fat part of the tree, if it hadn't been for that camellia bush, I would have lost my whole front porch.
No, somebody said no heavy lifting for my chainsaw. It's a smaller chainsaw. It's pretty light. It ain't that heavy. I done been out there and cut all kind of trees down in my house with it already.
I got a chainsaw, but it's locked up.
Now a big a big chainsaw I can't be lifting, but my small one I can. That's why I asked how big of a tree it was.
Well, it broke on me. It locked up, and I can't get it fixed. So, it's leaking oil.
I mean, I didn't even think about throwing that stuff in my truck, but I will throw some of that stuff in my truck. I didn't think about that leak because it's going to storm.
I mean, by the time
go
you come down here next week, I should have it cleared up. I hope.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just a mess. And a lot of places in town is still without power.
Mm-hmm.
It's been rough on all of us. I mean, no water. Let me see, when was it? I think Sunday or maybe, Sunday. The park down the road from me was giving out bags of ice. I went down there. Those guys gave me 6 bags.
Mm-hmm.
I brought it back and gave it to all my neighbors because they got kids.
Yeah.
I went back and got 12 more bags and finished up giving all my neighbors bags of ice. I did not keep not one bag.
Okay.
Then
so far as overall in Savannah, how bad would you say the flooding was? Like severe?
The flooding was bad. The flooding was terrible, but we're all cleaned up from that. The flooding is done and over with.
Okay.
It's the storm that came through here, the hurricane winds, because we were on the back side of it.
You know there's another
the
storm
east.
coming, right?
All right, but listen, there's crap going on Facebook. Everybody is showing that map with the storm coming back up the same track. That was Hurricane Helene. That is not the same one that is out there now. The one is out there now. It's still down there around Mexico. Hasn't even made it into the Gulf. And they are talking about it's possibly going to hit between Texas and Louisiana. If people would go on YouTube and look at the weather update.
Yeah, but you know, anything about them storms, they change directions like people change their socks. They go all over the place. They can say it's going to hit here. The next thing you know, it's hitting Virginia.
Yeah, it's people are you know, you heard the saying Facebook is fake book. Well, that is doggone true, because they're on there putting the stupid stuff, saying that the storm that's out there is coming. It's not even made it in the damn Gulf. It's Tropical Storm Kurt.
I seen somebody post a picture of Six Flags completely underwater, and the picture was from 2009.
Exactly. That was many years ago. That is not now. I mean, what did I just say? Fake book.
Yeah.
Because people are putting fake crap in there.
Yeah, there's some fake stuff up there, that's for sure. Old stuff from other floods, and they're kind of just blending it into this.
But I looked at my weather, and it said for this evening, when, you know, today, whenever I got phone service and internet and all that crap, power, everything back, we're supposed to get rain Sunday and again next Thursday on the 10th. Yeah. But it's only calling for 30%.
Do you think they're going to push back the Leilani trial, or do you think they're going to go ahead?
No, I don't think they are. I think they're going to go for it. This is the 9th, 10th, and the 11th is going to be the jury trial.
Yeah, I know. 9th, they select the 9th.
It's selecting the people for jury.
Yeah,
that's all that's going to be.
The 9th.
The trial ain't going to start until the following week.
I don't think so. I think they're going to select the jury for her in a day, Miss Ann. Because I just went to a murder trial here. They selected a jury in 4 hours.
Well, you got to think about it like this, Jimmy. This is Savannah. This happened here.
Yeah.
A lot of people that is going to get picked on that jury is going to ask, because I've been on jury duty before.
Yeah, but
here.
The thing
and if you followed the story and, you know, your belief, they're not going to pretty much, it's going to be a hard pick in the jury selection. I'm telling you.
I mean, as long as you can be fair and honest, that's what they asked you. It don't matter if you heard of it. It just matters if you can do it unbiased.
All right. Folks are asking about if I got family. I do. I have a sister, a brother, and my son. All of them are over an hour away from me, and none of them have power yet. They're all in worse shape than me.
I mean,
they're west of me. So I got power finally, but none of them have. And my son's got some serious health issue going on as well.
All right.
And
somebody's name is
not able to get over here.
T Fraud 757. It says Neil is bullying me. I don't know who Neil is there, T Fraud. I don't know. Hopefully you ain't a troll.
There's bullying. Y'all need to stop it and grow the hell up.
That may be a troll. I'm not for sure, because they have a kind of a trollish name, but they may have just picked that name. You know how the internet is. I don't know, Miss Ann. But look, I want to explain to you, like I just did a murder trial here in Virginia, which was super high profile, which is Corey Bigsby. all over the state. They were talking about everybody's been searching for him. They picked a jury in 4 hours. Okay. And when they went back for jury deliberation, they convicted him in 30 minutes without a body.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. That DA here is not a happy camper. I can tell you that now. I've talked to some of my cop buddies, and this is going to be a pretty big trial.
I was reading the charges she's charged with. She's charged with over 19 different charges, 3 counts of murder, malice murder, first degree murder, lying, concealing of a body, more lying. Like she had a lot of lying charges, giving false statements. So 19 charges altogether, and of course I'm going to be there to watch her go to prison.
Of course.
But what if she says that baby drowned, or it drowned in the bathtub, or it fell down the stairs? Because she really hasn't said anything about how the baby died.
She's not going to. And I don't expect her to get on the stand. I can tell you that now.
Well, I'm thinking their key witness is going to be Danny.
Well, from what I have been told by some of my cop buddies, she beat him.
Yeah, I know. That's what I heard too. That he was beat to death. But they said in the beginning the reason they didn't arrest her was they didn't find no evidence, right? So if they didn't find no evidence in the home and they found him in pieces in the, in the landfill, trigger warning, guys. And how long later was that? 35, 40 days later, Miss Ann? There was nothing left of him. How can they determine what killed this baby? I feel like she's going to go with the Casey Anthony defense, that this baby accidentally died and she covered it up. I mean, what other defense does she have?
We're even talking about it because when I went and got all them bags of ice, I rode by that landfill, and that's
Superior. I still remember the name.
I ride by there.
Superior landfill. I remember it just as like it was yesterday.
I know where it is. It ain't but about 4 miles from me.
Yeah.
It's very close to me. And the park where they set up the command center is exactly where I went the other day to get the bags of ice. I was right there.
I wonder if them new owners know what happened in that house on Buckhalter.
Well, let me explain something to you. The parkway that's right there underneath Burkhalter built a bunch of warehouses.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people sold.
Burkhalter has sold, most of them have sold their houses out because they're building warehouses in their backyard.
Yeah, I know.
And that's pretty why. Now, there's a lot growing out here in my area. And a couple of my neighbors have already had developers come by and offer them. I am selling my place, and I've already got me a piece of property. I'm not telling nobody where it is.
Somebody told me that lived on Buckhalter.
I've got another home, but I'm selling this place, but I'm waiting to see if I can get a good deal.
Well, when I was out there searching for Quentin, I was talking to one of the homeowners that was right near where that warehouse was, and he told me, he said, I sold my house. And I was like, did you get a good price for it? He said, well, I can tell you this. I got enough money. I can buy 2 houses.
Well, there's 2 homes on my street, and one's going for $250,000 and the other $230,000. And this is on my street. They have for sale signs already up there. One of my neighbor 2 doors down from me just told me today she's selling the property next door to me and the property on the other side of her. And she's
Quentin's dad was Bubba, right? It was Bubba Moss. Remember, this is the one his father died and his mama died. I remember when we were down there, his dad got hit by a car and died. In a tire. Yeah, Bubba was.
Well, his mom died first, I think, of cancer, and then a couple of weeks later,
his dad.
His dad.
Yeah, he got hit changing the tire, which is sad. I mean, that guy went through a lot. He lost his mama, he lost his kid, he lost his daddy. I was going to go talk to him, but then right when I was about to go see him, his daddy got hit, and I was like, I'm not bothering this guy. you know, this is the wrong time for a YouTuber to be popping up trying to get an interview with you. You just lost your mama, your son, and your daddy. I was like, yeah, I ain't effing with that guy. Leave him alone. He has it bad. So,
Tiffany B, I don't know what you mean by Miss Ann, please don't broadcast your strategy. Honey, I'm going through stage 4 cancer and being put on palliative care.
yeah,
And that's the step before hospice. I've got to get out of here.
you're going to be okay,
And
Miss
I am
Ann.
going to be very, very closer to my family where they can look out for me.
Uh huh.
I've already got a new trailer, and it's going to be put on the property here pretty soon. And then, of course,
Oh,
I'm
so you
selling
already
this
got
one.
you already got another trailer, Miss Ann?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
already done that.
all right, that's
My
good to hear.
son, my son got it for me, and we're just waiting to finish up everything.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I'll
but
probably see you soon, Miss Ann. I ain't gonna keep you up here long. We've been talking for like 20 minutes, but you be good. You stay
yeah, I got
safe,
to. I have it.
and
I probably have had
I'll probably see you.
14 hours sleep since Thursday.
Okay, I'll probably see you next week, and I'll take you out to dinner, Miss Ann.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, Miss Ann, you be good. Stay safe.
All right, buddy.
All right, peace.
Take care. Well, PJA.
I
And
will.
oh, by the way, listen to me real quick. During your dilemma with the heart attack,
Uh huh.
I know y'all were overwhelmed with messages, but believe me, I was praying for you.
Thank you, Miss Ann. That means a lot.
I mean, I didn't want to involve,
You know, I got you in my prayers too. So, and I'll see you
I know,
soon.
I appreciate it.
I'll make sure I
Everybody in
see
the
you.
chat,
We ain't going nowhere,
thank
Miss
you.
Ann. So don't worry. All right.
I damn sure hope not, but the way them doctors are talking, I'm not liking it.
Oh, that ain't good. But all right, Miss Ann, big hugs to you, and I'll see you soon. Okay.
All right. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Dolly.
All right. Peace.
All
So, yeah, Miss Ann, you know, listen, that's one thing we're not is promised tomorrow. That's why it's so important to love each other now, especially my viewers. We're up there in age. Ain't none of us. I don't have a young audience. My audience is usually from 30 to 70, 80. You know, some people maybe even older than that. And I don't care. I'm glad I got an older audience because can I relate with young people? You know, I don't really have a lot. I'm an older guy. I can't, you know, if you 20, what the hell do I got to talk to you about? We from two different worlds, you know. So so it's important when you get up in our age like we are that, you know, you be a good soul because you, like I said, like I didn't know I was close to checking out here. And you next thing you know, I'm on a table getting, you know what I'm saying? So, it's, but I realized I knew then how important it was to, you know, to be a good person and be good to everybody because, you know, the way you live forever is in the hearts and minds of others. You don't want to be a terrible person because people will be glad you're gone, right? You want people to think about you and talk about you. And the only way that's going to happen is you be a good person. How many people you hear talking about bad people? Nobody. But when you're loved, that's how you stay in the hearts of everybody, right? Just be loved and be a decent soul. Even if you was a terrible person, there gets to a point where you have to fix that. You know, it reminds me of the show My Name is Earl. Anybody ever watch that? Anybody you ever watch My Name is Earl? But basically, he did a whole bunch of bad shit his whole life, and he got older, and he wanted to wrong all his rights. So he was going around trying to fix everything that he had effed up as a young guy, right? So I never really did too. I've always been a pretty decent person. I've never really been robbing, stealing, cheating, none of that stuff. So, but there's some people I may have been mean to or not the nicest to that, you know, I realize, hey, I'm better. Hello.
Dolly,
Yes.
man, I called fire department last night. I mean
Is this
today.
Sweet Leaf?
Yeah.
All right, you got to turn me down in the background because you're coming.
Okay. I got it off. I see. I'm watching you through the TV, so then if I call you, I have to get my phone.
Okay.
But I called fire department today because I thought I was having a heart attack.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I got double vision, and I got, well, my other room's hot, so I stay in my bedroom with the air conditioner because I don't have no central air.
Okay. Okay. You got in front of your air conditioner because you don't have central air. Is that what you said?
Yeah, in my bedroom.
That's the
I
same thing I did.
have,
That's the exact thing I did when I started sweating. I got really close to my air conditioner. I started getting lightheaded.
well, I was cooking and it was getting real hot in there. And so I come in my room and I have a rag and I pour my ice water on it and I like do my face. So I pull off and then I'll go back in there and then come back in my room. So I'll go like back and forth till I can cook, you know. But I mean, my eyesight just went like my eyes crossed
Okay.
and
What was wrong with
I,
you? Did you go to the hospital?
well, I called the fire department and then they hooked me up to an emergency doctor. They didn't send the fire department out. And by the time I got through talking to the doctor, they think, well, you haven't taken some meds for a couple of days, and you can come. I think you should go to the emergency room or make an appointment with your doctor. And I'm like, or you know, uh,
Well, I'm glad
so
you're okay. That's
yeah, I'm like an hour later, I'm like, okay, because I have anxiety too, and I thought, well, I'm having anxiety, and I
do
don't
you
want
do
my
you have high blood pressure? Because I've noticed since they've got
no,
my blood pressure better, my anxiety
no,
hasn't been as
no,
bad.
I don't have high blood pressure. That's one
Have
thing.
you
Like,
been checking it?
yeah, well, I like it's been good. Like, I've never had high blood pressure. It's always like 120/60,
Okay,
uh,
that's good enough.
130/70, but it was like 170 over uh
That's high.
85.
That's high.
85. So yeah, that's not right for me. So it's having anxiety. And so because they finally sent by the time my sister got here, they finally like she was like, I'm gonna just call the fire department because that's all I wanted them to do was do an EKG, see if I was having a TIA or a heart attack.
Uh huh.
You know,
Do you know?
that's all I wanted
I can tell
them
you
to
a
do.
good thing to get is an Apple Watch because my Apple Watch will tell me if you're having, a heart attack.
Yeah, because I get those high anxieties too, you know, and but I've never had my heart checked or anything. I'm 64, but like nobody thinks I'm
Yeah, the
64.
Apple Watch, it has fall detection. That's why they got it for me, just in case, nobody's here and PJ's at work and I fall out.
Yeah,
It'll call
nobody here.
it'll call the ambulance for me, and it has a little button you hold, and then it goes through your heart rate, and it'll tell you if anything's going on with you. So I guess it
Well,
has
they,
sensors in it, and then your finger on it, it can actually tell your heart rate, your
yeah,
beat, everything, and then if it's in dangerous conditions, it'll notify the paramedics.
well, I live on disability, so I don't know. Somebody's gonna have to get me an Apple Watch, I guess.
Well, it
But
thanks to you guys, people were donating to get me that watch, And
yeah,
today my daughter came over and I was charging it, and she's like, "Where's your watch at?" Right? And I was like, "It's on the charger." She's like, "Why don't you got it on?" I was like, "Well, I gotta charge it. I can't charge it on my wrist, you know."
mhm.
And she's like, "You better put that watch on." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna put the damn watch on. Calm down."
I'm
And
not
I
gonna
don't
lie.
usually wear it when people are here with me, but during the day I usually put it on.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have my son here or my granddaughter, and I didn't want my granddaughter to come in. And she usually doesn't like just come in and check on me, you know.
Uh
But
huh.
I mean, I was like when I was looking at my sister, she's like two people, and everybody was two people, and there was three people in my room, and I'm like, I couldn't look into the sunlight. I had to look at something dark, but I had like my cold rag over me with the ice water, you know. And I thought, oh Lord, because a heart attack can come on anyway,
Yeah,
you know.
I wasn't even having pain, to be honest with you. When I had
I
my heart
wasn't
attack, I wasn't
either,
even in
but
pain.
I was catching myself like, when you're not breathing,
Hmm.
but that's part of anxiety. You got to breathe, But anyway, that was my day.
Okay, well, look,
And
Sweet Leaf, it was good talking to you. We're running out of time, so you be good.
yeah, all right. Well, I put a thing on there. TJ needs to call because I think what the problem is that the jurors may not all be able to be selected because of all the outages and the flooding and everything else.
I don't know. I hope not. I hope it goes off without a hitch because that's my
And
plans is to be there and watch her go to prison.
yeah, I know. And CBI is really down in Tennessee. They're really hitting trying to find these people that may be missing, and
Oh
they're
yeah,
like,
there's a lot of people missing. So
yeah, their job's full. So I don't know if people are working. CBI is really working on anything with the Sebastian case. So
okay, all right, Sweet Leaf, you be good.
all right, take care.
All right, peace. Okay, we actually got through a phone call with Sweet Leaf without having an earthquaker. Okay, usually she's hard to understand her phone. It's like she was breaking up and stuff like that. But yeah, you definitely got to take care of yourself, right? And I've learned my lesson on that one. And if I can pass anything on to you guys, is take care of yourself. Dolly, not Dolly. And now I drink a ton of water, and I was only living off of soda, and that wasn't helping. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey, Melanie. What's going on with you? Everybody got me
Nothing
on speed
much.
dial tonight, don't you?
Huh?
I said,
What did you say?
I think everybody got me on speed dial tonight. It's all the locals. They're all the regulars.
Yeah. What's the topic for tonight?
There was no real topic. It's open discussion night. We're just talking all true crime and talking in general.
Well, I got a big story to tell you.
Okay.
My last Friday, my power went out at 7:39
You sure it wasn't 7:40?
a.m. No, 7:39
Exactly.
a.m.
7:39. The clock stopped.
Yeah. And I waited and waited, and the next day my sister came and got me and took me over to my mom's house, and I stayed over there until tonight. And I said, Mama, when I run out of cigarettes, I'm going home.
Okay.
And she was cussing and raising.
Well,
Cain.
you probably should quit smoking there, Melanie.
Yeah, I should have quit smoking. She said it's killing me.
And she ain't lying to you. It ain't helping you.
No,
So maybe you should slow down a little bit. At least slow down a little bit on the cigarettes.
Yeah, but the thing is, I said, well, take me home now. She said, I'm not taking you home in the dark. So she called my sister back and called my sister and her husband and 2 children came and got me, and I'm home now.
Okay.
And I have power, but my mom did not have power when I left her house.
Okay. Well, at least you have power, Melanie. That's good.
Cause that hurricane.
What state are you in?
Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay, so you're in that storm path.
Yeah, and it's the worst storm we've ever had.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you're okay.
Thank you. It just tore everything up. The roads were, trees were down. A yard fell in my mom's yard. And in her neighborhood, the power lines and spectrum lines were
crazy.
all over the road, and it's a mess.
I was at the beach all weekend. Nice, sunny.
I
was at a festival, and like I didn't really realize that people were going through all that, Melanie. I truly didn't.
Yeah, and my mom was like, praying for everybody's protection. And when I got home tonight, I prayed, and I called the realize and all this stuff and pray for people. And ask God,
I'm sure they need the prayers, Melanie. I'm sure there's a lot of people right now that
yeah,
need our prayers.
yeah. And I ask God to forgive me for making my mom mad.
Hey, that's a good thing to ask them for. You don't ever want to piss your mom off.
And my mom told me that she's not taking me to the bank or shopping this month, so I don't know
She's
how
mad
I'm
at you.
getting
She'll get
food.
over it. She'll get over it. Moms get mad at you for a little while, and then they always forgive you, Melanie. So I think you're going to be okay.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You're a trooper.
Yeah.
You're going to be all right.
Good. Thank you. What's PJ doing now?
She is sleeping like a normal person. She has to work in the morning.
Oh, she does. Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of weekend did y'all have? What beach did y'all go to?
Virginia Beach. The ocean.
Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
I saw the picture, y'all's picture on Facebook about Lobo snapping that Wrangler.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they friends now though. The dogs.
Oh, they are. That's
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, we've been blending the family together, so the dogs got to get used to each other.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad that Vinny didn't win the
Turtle Island.
championship.
Yeah, there can only be one winner, and Huntress took it there, Melanie. She played a good game, and she had all 700 of her kids vote for her, so she won it. She's a champ.
She won it fair and square.
Yep. But look, Melanie, you be good. You take care of yourself, and I will talk to you next time, okay?
Well, a big parade for us in South Carolina, especially Greenville, South Carolina, and so everybody will get their power on and nobody else will die in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, and Tennessee.
Okay, Melanie.
Because a lot of people, over two, I think about 200 to 300 people died already.
Yeah, it's getting up there, and there's a lot of people missing. But you take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you next time, Melanie, okay?
I could tell PJ in the morning I said, hey.
I definitely will. You be good. Peace.
You said, I love you, bye.
Bye. Dolly.
Hello, Dolly. It's Short Legs.
What's up, Short Legs?
Hi, I had a question. When it came to Shoeless Boy,
Baby Bear?
yes.
Okay, with the Baby Bear.
Saying that Baby Bear, they were saying that there was some grates off of the drainage pipes by his house. And I was wondering if your drone picked up on that or if you saw anything like that.
Well, when I was down there, they had drained one of the retention ponds, and you could see the grate that was on that. The grates were in front of his house, and when I walked around his neighborhood, I didn't see any missing.
Oh, okay. I was curious about that.
The other retention pond probably had a foot of water in it, maybe less, 6 inches of water. And if you watch the news, when they drained it, the grates were there. So he didn't get sucked down a grate in like the retention pond. The one out in front of his house, it was intact. I was out there, when I was droning and walking around the neighborhood. I didn't see any that were missing.
Okay.
But that don't mean he couldn't have slid down in it. You know what I'm saying? I've seen people that could actually climb into the front of the manhole where it has the square. I've seen a dude kick a skateboard down there one time. He was small enough. He climbed right down in it. Didn't even take the lid off. Got his skateboard and slithered out. So, I mean, and Sebastian was a pretty skinny kid. So maybe he possibly could have got into one. I mean, I don't know. But as far as it missing, I ain't saying there ain't none around there that ain't missing, but right there in his immediate area, it looked like they were intact. But there was a lot of new construction going on there too, where maybe they're digging and different things. But I didn't see nothing that really, really stood out to me when I was looking for it. Baby Bear.
Okay, no strange holes. Okay.
Mm-mm.
I was curious about that.
There's a lot of area though, and it depended on which direction. If he did get out and there was no foul play, baby bear, it depends on which direction he went in. If you go in one direction, it's straight woods. If you go in another direction, it's fields, homes, and outbuildings and things like that. If you go behind his house, you get to the school. And if you go out front of his house, there's a big hill that goes up on another road that sits over that road. So
Hmm.
I don't think he would have went straight because he couldn't have got up through there. More likely, he would have went behind the home, or he would have went to the left of the home, or to the right of the home. So, but if he would have went to the right, it would have led him to the road. If he went behind the house, it would have led him to the retention pond and to the school.
Yeah, because I was thinking
I
too,
think
if he really had his shoes off, I don't think he would have went into any forest. I
it,
think he would have stayed
it,
on the pavement.
if the Hatfields and McCoys are going there to search, the advice that I would give them, just my opinion only, is when you're facing their house, go to the left. Start searching to the
Hmm.
left of that home, because I think the odds is an odds person that he may have went. If he would have went right,
I've been watching
people would have seen him.
CJ and Trey, and they were just there again.
Yeah, I mean, but you gotta like, I don't know, you gotta like visualize it. Like if he was to walk out of there, where would you go? Because he didn't get seen, so I would rule out that he walked to the right. Maybe
Hmm.
there's a chance he went towards the retention pond, but he didn't end up in the retention pond. So left is the area that, if you ask me, Dolly, where do you think I should go search? I would say go to the left of that home, and you're going to get into these fields. You're going to get into some country area with a lot of outbuildings, barns, sheds. It's just nobody around, and it's in the middle of nowhere. And I would tell people to search there.
So if you're
That's my opinion.
facing the house, go to the left.
Facing the house, go to the left. Out the neighborhood though, because if you go to the left, you're going to hit a house. But go behind that house and then start going out. And I think that you may, if I was a betting dude, I would say, okay, the odds are probably he went that way.
Hmm.
If he got out, if not, it's foul play and something's happened to him. Somebody's took him somewhere. But I'm just saying, if he did, baby bear run away, that I would, my focus when I was there is on to the left of the property, but there's so much of it that you really got to get up in there. And I was following the creek beds, and because it goes down this big
Yeah.
hill, and it's to the left of the construction, and that takes you back into behind the school and stuff like that. So that's where I would focus. But I mean, that's just my opinion. That don't mean that's where he's at.
Hmm.
So, anything else?
No, I was just curious about the drainage pipe.
Yeah, I didn't. Like I said, I ain't saying there ain't none open or out
Sometimes,
there.
sometimes I started to think, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that guy, stepdad bear is in the construction business, and I was thinking, well, why can't they put in like every, I don't know, 3 yards, 6 yards, or whatever, like something into that pipe where you can see down into it? Would that be too difficult, or?
Well, no, I mean, no, not really. You would have to just put down a light and maybe, a remote control car with a camera on it. You can drive right through the pipes. I got one of them in my truck too, with a GoPro on it.
Oh, I never even thought
I
of
never
that.
thought about what I was going to use it for, but I got it, and I added a GoPro to the front of it, to the remote control car. I just
So
did
it
it so
has so it has a light on it too, or?
no, I don't have a light on it. I would have to add a light to it, but I have a
Oh,
light. I
okay.
have a light that I could add to it that mounts to a GoPro mount too, and it's bright. So
Wow, that's
yeah, you could
pretty
do something
cool.
like that. But I didn't put it together for that. I put it together to play with. I got that to play with, but it does have
The
other
toy.
uses. Yeah, it's a toy. It's a nice one, but
Yeah.
it could be used for other things like searching. So Yeah, if you can't get in something, yeah, you
And
can
I'd
send
just
your
be
remote control car
afraid
down
that
there.
it would, lose signal pretty quickly.
I don't know. I got a good one. It ain't gonna lose too much signal. I can drive that damn thing to the end of the street and back.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, if you're standing down at the bottom of the pipe and you're facing it, it'll go a ways. I mean, I wouldn't send it too far. You wouldn't need to send it too far anyway, because once that light hits, you're going to be able to see down the pipe.
Mhm.
So, I mean, there's ways to do it. I mean, I could do it with a remote control car. So,
Because the pipe I saw, it wasn't really big enough to climb through.
yeah, that's why
Like
you.
it would have been tight. Like you definitely couldn't stand up in it. It
Well,
seems to be
well,
quite small pipes. Over
Caleb
here, the
Harris.
pipes are
Caleb
bigger.
Harris was a grown man, and he was sucked through a 15-inch pipe. I don't know if you know how big a 15-inch pipe is, but it's only that big. I mean, I got a
That's
tape
really
measure.
small.
I got a tape measure right here. 15 inches, right? Let's see. 15 inches.
I'm wondering,
Right
did
here.
they call,
That's how big the
did,
pipe is he got sucked through. I don't know if y'all can see
did they
that.
call, like, what company do you call for that? The water company or
Well,
what do
I
you do
mean,
for those
I
pipes?
don't know. I don't know who searches the damn pipes. I've never, I've never had a problem where anybody ended up in a pipe, so I don't really
Oh, see, there's
exactly know.
another problem right there. Like, who do you call to even search a pipe? Like, they were saying LE or
Well, I
I
mean, I
don't
know
think they know.
they have cameras on poles and different types of cameras that they send down into places. So I mean, I
Well,
don't exactly.
now they need to put cameras in pipes because
I mean, yeah, I mean, I mean, people can do it
if
that
the
way if they're
manhole
looking for.
covers are too far apart, they need a way to check those
I mean,
pipes.
all you really have to do is send down a camera on a remote control car, tie a string to it, just in case you do lose reception to the car, and then be able to snatch it back out, and then you just send it down the pipes. And it ain't something I couldn't do. I guarantee you, I could figure out a way to search some pipes if I really wanted to. I mean, all it
Yeah.
takes is a camera, a remote control car, and a piece of long string, and you can go all into pipes. That way, if you lose reception, all you have to do is pull it back out. So,
Yeah.
and I mean, that's a bootleg, cheap way of doing it, but it can be done. I mean, I didn't do that when I was there. I have the capabilities of doing it.
Yeah, I think
So
something
soon,
like
now that you
I
said that,
really
soon
think
I'll be able to
something like
search
that needs to be
underground, above
done.
ground, by boat, by water, by walking. So my plan is to be able to search anything. So there's ways to do it. But all right, look, short legs, you be good. You stay safe.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
peace.
you. Okay, bye-bye.
Now, when I was down there, in Three Little Bear Land, I didn't think about searching the pipes like that. And plus I didn't hook up the capabilities to that remote control car. I just recently mounted a GoPro to it. And I did that just so when I'm playing with it, I can watch. You know what I'm saying? I can hook it to my phone and kind of, if it's out of sight, I can still drive the car. But the same thing, with a drone, you're basically looking at a screen, and I got a really good drone now. So you can search the pipes. There. Dolly. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
This Mab?
It's Mav.
What are you still doing up, Mab?
This is the 106th time I've called you tonight.
Oh, okay. What's good with you?
I'm thinking about the water you're drinking.
What's
I
wrong?
had the same. I quit drinking sodas, but I got a soda stream machine. I make my own sodas.
Yeah, but I'm trying to avoid that sugar.
No, it's not sugar. You just use bottled water,
Uh-huh.
and then you put your bottle in the CO2 machine, and it puts the fizz in the water.
Uh-huh.
And then you just sprinkle a little pomegranate juice or whatever kind of flavor you want without the sugar.
Uh-huh.
And now you're making your own killer sodas.
Yeah, that tastes like shit.
No, they taste good. Mine, I got pomegranate.
Listen, I've gotten all them different flavors to try it in my water, and every one I cannot stand. The only thing that I can drink that is like fake sugar is I can drink the Minute Maid lemonade, 0 sugar Minute Maid. They're
Well, what
decent.
you're after is the fizz, for the soda, right?
I mean,
soda people
I'm
like
so
the fizz.
I'm so used to drinking. I've been drinking water for what is it, 40 days? I'm used to drinking water now. I
You're
haven't
out
drank a
with
soda. I mean, I've
equipment.
sipped a soda. Like PJ had a Dr. Pepper that day. And I took one little sip of it, but I haven't drank a soda in 40 days.
And
Why drink them
you're
now? You know what I'm saying? Why go back to a bad habit? If I'm already quit and I'm already good with not drinking it, why go back to it?
the thing about sodas with me was the fizz, you know.
Yeah, I like
Just drinking just plain water was like drinking mud, right?
not to me. I don't really even mind it. I've got used to it now.
I guess after 40 days. So you're starting a new business, I hear, with searching the drains.
Well, I mean, I'm saying that it can be done. I haven't done it. I didn't think about doing it when I was there, but yeah, if I was there, yeah, I could send a car with a camera in it. You know what I'm saying?
Put a
All through the
GoPro
drains.
on put a GoPro on a little car and just zoom it down there.
Yep, that's exactly what I would do and tie a string to it. So if I lost reception, I could pull the car back out.
The only problem is if there's a bunch of debris and shit down there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that would be, but you would see it.
You'd
You
have
would
to
see
have
what.
you'd have to have one of those monster trucks,
That's kind of what I got. It has the big wheels on it.
a little GoPro on that.
Yeah, I mean, you could send something down there. That's for sure. I mean,
I
you
don't think
if you can get down there pretty good ways with a light, you'll be able to see pretty good distance anyway, even if you can't get all the way down there.
I think little Timmy ended up in the back of a car, personally.
Now, if it was a big pipe, okay, then you send a drone through it and you put it on a straight path and fly it right in the
Fly the
bitch.
drone through it
Mm-hmm.
with a light,
My drone has anti-crash detection. It'll know when anything's around it, so
so you
it
could send it down a 4-foot pipe and it wouldn't
wouldn't
stay
hit
in the middle.
anything. It wouldn't hit nothing. Everything that got close to it would move. It adjusts itself. It'll damn fly itself.
It's a pretty good drone. I wish I. What
DJI
model is
makes
that
the
on?
best drones. I mean, if you're gonna, that drone I got is expensive.
DJI.
DJI, yeah.
What cameras do you use for
DJI,
YouTube?
huh?
What camera do you use for YouTube?
What camera do I use for YouTube? That I'm
Yeah.
using now?
Yeah.
I use a Canon. I think a T7.
I'm
What
thinking about
camera do I
firing up.
use? I have a few different cameras I use. For far as in my studio, I've been using this Canon for years. It's good enough for me. It ain't I have a way better camera. I have the Sony A7, which is a $2,000 camera, but I only use that on like special occasions, like when I'm out filming. I take it with me, but that's usually when I'm on the road.
Right.
And that's the one that Chronicles of Olivia had. And I was like, oh, this camera's so sweet. So I eventually
remember that.
I got me one. And that is what I take on the road with me. But most of the time when I'm on the road, I usually use this brand new GoPro right here.
I got a GoPro that I never used.
This is the new 4K one, though. This is the newest one, 4K. So all the stuff I shot when I was in Niagara Falls and stuff like that, I haven't even uploaded yet. My shot with this GoPro, and it shoots good video in the daytime. Low light is not the best, but that Sony A I got, it shoots really good in the low light. So
How much are the GoPros going for now?
this one is $399
It's not bad.
in the case with the case in which has my mics and shit. Like I can hook a mic to it.
I was watching YouTube. A dude had his GoPro set up on a fishing thing, and he was taking it through the river.
See what I'm saying? So I can hook an independent mic up to it, plug it into the bottom of the GoPro. So I did a bunch of these. These are mods. These are GoPro mods. So I have it in the case. I have the connector, the mic connector, which sits down. I don't know if you can see it. I'll have to unplug it.
Yeah, I can see it now.
But you unplug it here. I can show it to you better. But this little thing right here was like $70 just for that. But that's where you can hook your USBs and your mics into. Then it has a little slide in here where you can slide it underneath the GoPro, plug it into your GoPro. Now you can hook like your mics and shit up to it. Which then, of course, I have like the Rogue mics, and I usually have my mic like this though, sideways, so it don't pop over. But when I have the windscreen off, it don't. Right now, sometimes it'll catch the top of this windscreen, but usually if I take this windscreen off, it don't hit it at all. I don't have it bolted on.
You have your little stick there.
Well, I don't have it on a selfie stick. I have it on a stand. Let me lock this down so it stops falling off.
Ever tried one of those 360 cameras?
No, I've seen them with the invisible selfie sticks, but it looks weird because everybody that films themselves, they're walking around like they're holding something. They ain't got nothing in their hand. Yeah, all the 360 ones, it looks like the dude's walking around like this. I rather just, it don't matter. You usually don't see the stick anyway. I don't usually show my hands like that, so you don't see what I'm holding. So.
I better be getting to bed.
And
I gotta go get my
the reason I do that, Mab, is because I do have a way better camera. It's just light. It's convenient. You know what I'm saying? It ain't heavy. My camera, my A7, that's just like carrying around a brick, but it shoots beautifully. Pictures, photographer quality. But far as carrying it, it starts to get heavy.
So if you were making a video, you'd use the A7, but if you're just on the road, you'd
use the
GoPro.
Exactly. If I was shooting some production or taking pictures, I want it real high quality, I use the A7. If I'm just making a vlog video of me walking around talking to people, I'm using that damn GoPro because it's light.
That makes sense.
But it is high resolution 4K, 60 frames a minute. That's a good ass GoPro. It's great in the daytime. Nighttime ain't the best, but daytime recording, phenomenal.
Cool.
It almost looks just as good as the A7 in the daytime, but at nighttime it's no comparison in low light.
I'm getting ready to landscape my place. I gotta get my dump truck and my tractor and start tearing stuff up.
All right. Well, you be good. You stay safe, brother.
All right, buddy.
All right. Peace. Yeah, guys, I got multiple cameras. I use so much different stuff that, believe it or not, I've had this, like the studio camera I use. I've had this camera for, I don't know, a couple years. I've never changed up the studio because the quality here is pretty decent, right? I look okay to you guys. So, I mean, there's really like, I could hook up my A7 and use it here, but like I said, I don't use it much, so I don't take it out the case much. Less chances of getting, one reason I never use it because I used to smoke, and I don't like my camera because it's a $2,000 camera being around smoke because it's a mirrorless camera, so you don't really want that camera around smoke. So I always kept it in its case and put up. And this camera is like a Canon. It's still expensive, but it ain't $2,000 expensive. So I didn't really so much, if something got on it or, no big deal. But I've used this camera. It's been good to me. I don't want to talk crap about it because then it'll break. But before that, it's funny because we're about to go back to Georgia. I had a Lumix, right? Which is an expensive 4K camera. And I used that thing. It was light. It had a flip screen and it was a good camera. Expensive. And then I broke it in Georgia. I don't know if anybody's been around for a long time that's been watching me. Remember the fry guy, the guy that was throwing the fucking French fries at me? I told the dude, I said, you hit me with one of them French fries, right? Because I ended up in jail in Georgia anyway, but I was about to go to jail that day too. Because I told that dude straight up, I said, you hit me with one of them French fries, right? Because he thought he was a badass. And when he realized that I won't playing, that you hit me with that French fry and I'm going to break my foot off in your ass, he started throwing them on the ground, like towards me, but not at first he was throwing them at me. Now I said, let it hit me. So as soon as you hit me with something, you're going to wish you never did it. You're going to wish you never did it. And look, you know how people think they badass, right? He goes, put that camera down, right? Like I had a badge. You know how people tell the police, well, take your badge off, right? Dude, I will break my foot off with this camera in my hand. Okay. That's what I was thinking in my head. I was like, dude, you messing with the wrong dude today. Okay. You messing with the wrong dude. And what he walked up and said to me was, you should go home. He said something like that. And I was like, look, bro, I don't know who you talking to. I ain't going nowhere. All right. You need to move along. And then he got all mouthy. And then when he said, put the camera down, I slammed the camera down. I was like, what? And then he ran in his yard, right? He ran in the yard. But the bad thing is when I slammed the camera down, I guess I slammed it down a little too hard and I broke my damn camera, right? So I'm still mad about that, okay? I'm still mad about, and it was, it wasn't it was a good camera. It was an expensive camera. And that's when Lolo. Hold on 1 second, guys. Sweet tea. That's where I found you, Dolly Savannah. So, like I was saying, I slammed the camera down a little hard. And when you get these cameras, these mirrorless cameras and stuff like that, you got to be pretty careful with them. And I broke my camera. So then I started raising funds for a good camera. And then eventually, of course, I got that camera. But yeah, that, I still think that dude owes me a damn camera. And I broke my camera so he could run. Okay. Listen, I got to learn not to lose my temper like that, though. Okay. I got to, if anything, Georgia Savannah was a learning experience to me that I can't be so emotionally invested. Okay. Because I lose my temper and I may be a small dude. Okay. But one thing I ain't a pussy. Okay. I will take an ass whipping. You will have to, do something to me, right? Because you ain't gonna just sit there and say crazy things to me. I can't do that, right? I don't. I try not to be. I try to be peaceful and non-violent and don't mess with people. But I don't take shit from people either, right? And everybody thinks, hey, you're a small dude. That's where you made a mistake. Okay, that's where you made a mistake. Um, because in my mind, I ain't. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't scared of you, right? So it is what it is. I'm glad I didn't, that he ran. He did the right thing, right? He did the right thing because I was dead serious when I put that camera, broke my camera, and he's like, he said it like I was the police. Put the camera down like it's a badge. What is it? What are you scared of the camera? Like what's And then just to run, and to go up in his yard and talk under his breath, And here's the thing. I even said this to PJ tonight. We was at dinner and, we were talking about Billy Joe filing for custody of the kids. And, I have, a lot, I hate to say it, but listen, that kid died on your watch, lady. Okay. Should you be giving other kids? I know Leilani's not around right now and Leilani did it, but you knew better than to leave that kid with that lady. And you did. And that kid is gone. He can never come back. Should she have kids? Any other kids of Leilani's? I don't think so. And to a lot of people gave me hate up here about the neighbors. You disturb the neighbors. One of the neighbors were in hospice. That's untrue. The internet be lying so damn much. There was never no neighbor in hospice. There was never no lady that had to leave and go die somewhere else. That shit was made up by haters on YouTube. The only neighbors was Fry Guy, the old pervy dude across the street. There was a firefighter that lived across the street to the left, and he just didn't want to be involved in it. He was just like, hey, just don't block my driveway. I ain't got no problem with y'all. He was kind of like, he just didn't want to be involved. And here's the thing is, even him, right? Like I told PJ, I was like, yo, all these people in that hole right there, a piece of shit. She was literally beating that kid in the front yard. None of the neighbors did nothing. They act like they were unaware of this shit. Every kid in the neighborhood came up to me and said, Dolly, she be beating the kid in the front yard. So all these people watched that kid get abused and didn't do nothing, right? You think I cared about disturbing these people? I think hell with them people. They did nothing to help that child. Listen, would any of you guys sit out in your front yard and watch a kid be beat and do nothing about it? I didn't care if I disturbed them people. F them people. And it's still F them people. They say it takes a community to raise a child, right? Their community failed this child. If these kids are watching this kid be beat, what did the adults do? They did nothing. They did nothing. If they would have done something, Quentin Simon would still be here today. but none of them did shit. Right? So should they get any of my respect? Mm, zero, zero. And I still feel the same way. I didn't know Upchurch was having a kid. He already had a kid. He had a daughter. He's a father now. Congratulations to Upchurch, right? I think he'll make a great dad. One thing being a father will do, it'll make you grow up fast, okay? Because when Tiff was born, I was still wild and crazy, right? I was 25 years old, and I didn't have a house. I was renting a house at the beach, like a little condo, and I had to, I ended up going out and I started my own company. I ended up buying a house, and I think if Tiff wouldn't have been born, I'd still been clubbing and raising hell. But I had to figure things out pretty quickly. Like, okay, now I can't live in this condo, and I gotta, instead of having a shit job, I need to do something where I can pay the bills and not be jammed up. So it'll make you grow up quick. Now, Upchurch is a millionaire. He don't have the financial things, but it will keep him from wilding out too much because he knows he got to wake up in the morning, change diapers, do the fatherly shit, go play with your kid. So sometimes it's a blessing, right? Sometimes it's a blessing. And I think he'll make a great dad. And so far I've been watching his videos and he's been doing a good job. He seems really proud, really happy. Still a little conspiracy-ish, you know what I'm saying? But hey, that's his church, right? So nothing but love from Dolly, and I always tell people Upchurch really helped me out a lot, and he may not know it, right? But I know it because I was scared to death to fly. If he hadn't came in and gave me that money and them tickets, I probably would have never jumped on a plane. And since then, I've been flew all over the country. I'm not scared to fly no more. So my little tiny bubble, he just pretty much came in and popped it. And then now I've spread out so far and been able to help so many more people because of what he done. Right. So if he don't know he's helped people, and I'm sure he does, he helped me, so thank you to Upchurch for that, so I always respect him for that, he helped me face my fears. So that was my biggest fear too, is flying. And once I flew to Nashville and he, his show was awesome. Now I've seen church a couple times, and he's a good dude. I wish him nothing but the best with him and his family. So this is why I watch you. Thank you. So, I mean, you never know how you can touch people or how you can help them. It may be encouragement. It may be, hook somebody up to where they have to face their fear. Sometimes the hardest thing in this world is to face your fears, and that's for everybody. Like, in these days, like I said, I'll jump on a plane and pretty much fly anywhere. I'm not scared. I'm like, okay. And plus I'm at the point where if this plane crashes, I've had a good life. I've done a lot of cool things that, some people would dream of doing. And I ain't saying I've done as much as a lot of people, but I think I've done a lot of cool shit in my life. It's been a crazy roller coaster, but everybody's life is. It's been full of ups and downs. And I think I'm in a good point in my life. That's where I didn't want to kick over from this heart attack because I think, you think 50, I'm old, right? I feel like 50, I'm at the best time of my life. My kid is grown. I can pretty much do whatever I want. I can stay up. I have you guys, and YouTube is like so awesome that I'm able to pay my bills and be home and don't have to like break my neck and hurt my back and do all these things that I had to do before. So I feel like I'm super blessed right now. And it's my life is becoming a lot better because of it. Like I said, my bills are paid. I own my home. I'm able to do this traveling and to do the things I enjoy, searching for people and talking true crime and hanging out with guys instead of like busting my ass and, for somebody to make somebody else rich. And that's what I felt like, and all that has changed. Now I own my own little business, my soap business, buydollysoap.com. It helps. Plus with the YouTube ad revenue, it helps me pay the light bill and the water bill and, put food in the refrigerator. And pretty much I'm happy, So It's the American dream. Okay, it's the American dream. It's not to be have somebody standing you over you, bitching and complaining and moaning that you are not working hard enough. All right, I work when I want to work, and I'm never one of these people that think like some of these YouTubers like YouTube. This is my job. I don't think of this as a job. I love doing this. If it pays me, great. If I made 0 cents doing it, I would still do it because I did it for years and didn't never make a penny. I wasn't monetized, or when I was monetized, I wasn't even showing commercials or anything. So I didn't even make a penny. You know, now sometimes I monetize the videos, so of course I can keep the light bills on and stuff like that. Because I have to. Like Dolly got to eat too, right? Or the other option B is go out and bust my ass again with my bad body, bad heart, bad everything, and not make hardly any money and not be happy, right? So I'm good where I'm at, and that's why I feel so blessed. You know, thank you guys for giving me a voice because without you guys, it'd be my life would be totally different. Um, like I look at life like you're walking down a trail. You have choices of which way to go, you know, and somehow I found this, you know, and I've always been a little bit of an entertainer anyway, because, you know, when I was young, I did the music trap. So I've always been the entertaining, traveling type of person. You know, I just didn't fly. I did it all by vehicles and touring with the band and things like that. So it's always been a little bit of entertainment for me. Is come up here, take your mind off things, entertain you guys, right? And still bring you good information, you know, and it's I've always been on a mic. You know, when I was from the time I was 17 in the first band I joined, I was on a mic. Okay, till I was 20, 30 years old on a mic. And then somewhere in 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I was sitting around bored. And I was sitting here by myself and I was just like, I need somebody to talk to. Basically, I mean, that's basically how it started. And I was like, well, let me make a YouTube video. I made a YouTube video and nobody watched that shit. It was like 3 people. Okay. But I was like, okay, well, that sucks. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, and you know, this to be honest, Tiff is a lot different now, right? Tiff is proud of what I've done on YouTube because, you know, millions and millions of people now have watched me. I mean, my plays are in the millions, way up there in the millions. Watch time, super crazy, right? But I remember Tiff was young and she was like, Dad, you're old. Nobody's going to watch you. And I don't know if she was just picking on me or hating on her daddy. And I was like, nah, Tiff, you can do whatever you want to do. If you put your mind, and I've always told Tiff, you can be whatever you want to be. You put your mind to it. You work hard enough. You can achieve what you're trying to do. Now she tells people her dad's a YouTuber, right? But before she was like, "Ugh," right? But I remember when it was just a couple people on my YouTube channel. And what changed was, and you got to remember, this is my second channel. I grew the first channel to 40,000 people. And then I've grew this one to almost 60,000. So collectively, I have 100,000 subs over if you count all my channels. But I want to get this one to 100,000. One channel, 100,000. So I can put that little plaque on my wall. You know, if I would have went to college for 8 years, which I went to college, but I've been on YouTube 8 years, I could have been a doctor. Okay. And all the time I put into YouTube. And the only thing I want is that little plaque for the wall that says, hey, man, your hard work is appreciated. Right. Because I can tell you now, it takes a lot of dedication and time to do this. Okay. Like it, you know, just over the years of the stuff I've done. And I want that achievement. And like I told PJ, I was like, I told her this tonight. This is crazy. I'm sharing the same story with y'all. By the end of next year, I'm going to hit 100,000 on this channel. Okay. Because like I said, I'm only turning up the heat. I'm only getting warmed up. I look at them first few years as that was a learning experience, right? Now I ain't a rookie on YouTube. I got a fan base on YouTube, and now it's just growing it and growing it and growing it by bringing you guys awesome shit, right? Because that's what people want. So I'm going to bring y'all that stuff, and I know that. So that's why, like I said, I'm building the command center, the 4-wheelers, the boats, the whole thing to bring you just awesomeness here on YouTube. And I know I'm going to hit those numbers. Okay, so it's just a matter of time to me, right? So, like I said, it's going to be a journey. We got a long ways to go. As long as I'm breathing, we're going to bring you some cool shit, and I got to get my health back good so I can get around a little bit and stuff like that. So I just want to get that little plaque. So that's why if you're watching out there and you're thinking, should I sub up Dolly? Yes, sub it up. Sub it up. Ring the bell for notifications. Help me hit that 100,000. Right. Um, Desperation kills, if not the body, then the soul. Hit that like and leave your DNA. YouTube shrunk the 100K award plaques. I don't know if they shrunk it. I mean, I don't give a damn if it's this big when they give it to me, but I want it. Okay, I want it. I mean, after all this journey that I've taken, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, if I would have spent these 8 years in college, I'd be a doctor by now. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
This is Deborah in Louisiana.
Hey, Deborah.
I just have to tell you, you are so special.
Yeah, I've been told that. You're so. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is a good thing. It is a very good thing. You're such a sweet person.
Oh, well,
and I'm, you know, when you're not on here, I go listen to different ones, and it's like I can't believe them unless if it's on TV or like Benny posted something or Nancy Grace. But I go in there, it's like, I don't know if that's true. I trust you. I know what you say is true, but you're a special person.
I think I'm a real person, just like each and every one of you. Like when I see YouTubers, they act like their viewers are stupid, right? They act like their viewers are stupid. They're just hateful people. Some of them, not all of them. And I just think all I have to do is come up here and be real. And I've always been a believer that real recognizes real.
Well, real is going to get you where you want to be. You are going to be one of those top people like Benny and all them. In time, you will be. I have faith in you, and you are very special. And I really enjoy your.
You know, I can honestly say I believe in myself, and I think that's a good quality to have, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. Like I say, I know I'm going to hit these numbers. It's just putting in the work to get there. And I truly believe that hard work pays off, and you can do whatever the hell you want to do in this world if you work hard enough.
You're right. And I'm new to this. I'm 64 years old. I never thought I'd be doing podcasts. I didn't even know what a podcast was. I accidentally did it whenever, remember Aubrey?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's
Audrey Cunningham. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just accidentally found that, and then I see I can't cover like all these things you're covering. I don't know a lot about. I can only do one at a time.
That's pretty much mostly how I do it too, because if I try to be all over the place, I just can't keep up with shit.
I can't either, but the kids is what gets me. And I followed her, and I'm thinking, oh my God, see, I don't know what I'm thinking, oh my God, the FBI is going to be on my phone wondering why I'm tracking this girl, because every morning I'd get up. That's the first thing I do, see if she was found.
That's how it gets you. That's how it gets you. That's what got me. You know, I woke up every day looking to see if they found little Summer Wells every day. Before I go to bed, I check. When I got up in the morning, there's only a few cases that get me like that. You know, the little boy that we're talking about, Summer Wells.
Yeah. The cub.
And when it gets you, it got you. Like it you got the hook, you know what I'm saying? And that's all it takes. And once you go down that rabbit hole, there ain't no getting out of it. You ain't coming back.
I know. And I didn't know, because I know the FBI can get in your phone or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, am I going to get a knock? Because, you know, I'm old. I don't know all this.
I've had a knock from the FBI.
I'm old. Is the FBI going to be knocking at my door because I'm following this?
Well, you better watch what you follow, because I videotaped some shit and the FBI did come to my house.
Well, I know that because I'm going to say, like another Stephen Stern, a girl I worked with at Walmart, her husband was doing what he did to his own children.
Oh Lord.
And they were special. Okay. They were, I hate to use the retarded word, but they were
Special needs,
special.
I
And
guess,
he was,
would be the thing. Special needs, I guess, is the PC. When I was
yeah,
young, that was the
they
word
were.
that was the word you used when I was a younger person, because it actually meant that they had disabilities. Now, if you say it, people are like,
They
"Oh
were,
my
they were,
God," you know.
they were special needs. And he was doing like Stephen Stearns did to his own children. And the FBI got into his phone, and that's how they got him.
A good
He
thing. I
went
mean,
to
that's what he
jail.
gets.
He went to jail, and guess what? He didn't even make it a year. They, they,
Oh,
they,
they got him in jail.
they.
Prison justice, huh?
Oh, the inmates did him justice.
Well, that's what I hate to say. You get what you give in this world.
And I'm gonna tell you one damn thing: if Stephen Stearns gets out in that I hate to say the words, but anyway, it's out in my opinion, like you
Yeah.
tell me. Let him get out in the real world. Let him get out in there. He ain't gonna last long.
Yeah, he's going to be locked up in protective custody for a while, so it'll be
For his
a
whole
little
life.
while.
But I'm gonna tell you one dang thing. My son got put in jail for warrants and shit, not killing nobody.
Yeah, everybody,
And
sometimes you mess up. I've been to jail, and I ain't a saint. There's been times I got into fights and done different stupid stuff I shouldn't have done. I mean, I've never done nothing bad. Every time I've been to jail, I knew I was getting out, but I've been there.
Well, my son got put in there, and he usually gets out. Well, two of my children are just like, now one's grown up. This one, I got a 25-year-old. He's fixing to be 26, and I'm 64. So I'm too damn old for this.
Yeah.
Well, he got put in jail because of warrants that he didn't pay. Well,
do it.
The inmates got word that he did something to his child. They beat the shit out of him. They broke his nose. His eye was bleeding. They put him in protective custody, which was with the good inmates. What you call them?
I ain't no really good inmates, but
anyway, he got his ass beat. He got his ass beat in protective custody.
It can happen.
The wall, and it's like, okay. So yeah, it's a bad. Those people, those inmates, gonna get to you.
Well, I mean,
and just like, did you listen to the mom and daddy's thing, the interview?
Yes, I've listened to all the interviews, all the Jen Soto, Stephen Stearns interviews.
Yeah, well, she even said, or he said, mom or dad said, we just waiting for that phone call, because they know what they gonna get. One
thing that was what they said was, they would be there if their son gets executed. And I'm thinking, people, y'all are 60 some years old. He won't be executed for 20 some years. You ain't going to be alive when he gets executed. So they were talking about they're going to go to his execution. I'm thinking, why are you even thinking that? You won't make it to his execution. And you never know, in 20 years, the state of Florida may do away with executions, and he won't never get executed. So even if they did execute him, be 20 years from now, y'all ain't going to be alive then.
Right. It's going to take that long. If he gets the death,
he's
DP.
getting it. He's getting the DP. He's getting it. It just, it's going to take so long to them to serve it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If they give him the DP, it's going to be years before that happens. Hell, he might be dead.
What they should do is let P. Diddy give him the DP, and that DP stands for something different when it comes to P. Diddy.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I watch Nancy Grace. That thing there, she don't care.
Oh, Nancy is a trooper. One thing they told me, right? Like I was trying to get into CrimeCon, get my booth at CrimeCon, and they said I was too controversial, right? And I'm thinking, Nancy is y'all's main speaker. Who the hell is more controversial than Nancy?
And Vinny too, yeah. I watched Vinny the other night.
Vinny ain't that controversial, but Nancy is.
Oh, but he's getting there because when I watched him with the Soto case, and yeah, he can be funny. That's why I voted for him tonight. He can be funny. He can be crazy like you. But I'm gonna tell you what, he don't bite his tongue either. He's like Nancy Grace. He don't bite his tongue.
Yeah, when they said I was controversial, I was like, oh, what the hell? Y'all got Nancy Grace as y'all's main speaker. You know what I'm saying? Top mom. She's still on Casey Anthony's ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, who's more controversial than Nancy Grace?
Oh, and look, with the Diddy case, she gonna go up there and wipe her eyes going, woo, 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 woo. I'm like, this woman is
right, just crying. I know Nancy's crazy. I love Nancy Grace to death, though. She is so real and so genuine.
And she don't bite her tongue.
Nancy is the same person when you meet her in person that she is on TV. The exact same person. But look, hey, I appreciate you calling, chopping it up with me.
Okay. Peace out. I love you. And PJ too.
All right, peace.
And you be safe when you start traveling. Be safe.
I definitely will.
Don't get in those waters because you don't know what you're gonna find. Like I sent you a thing with the airboat. And they had bodies.
Yeah.
That's how they did that. That's how they did it.
I'm good with people, you know. I just don't want to run across no kids. That would mess me up.
Well, that's the only way they could, like when Katrina came, that's the only way they did it was because they tied bodies to trees with ropes. They wouldn't be swept away.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And it's bad. So just be careful when you go out there because you're not going to know what you're going to see until you see it and you think you can do it. Like the guy that had the airboat. This boy, all kind of stuff. And he said, Miss Sue, when I seen bodies, I couldn't do it. I had to put my airboat back on my trailer and go home. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, I can understand that. Like I could deal with. I've seen dead adults. I've seen people with their heads cracked open. I've seen a dude get stabbed to death. Personally seen it. So I know I could deal with adults. It's the kids that would kind of mess me up.
The kids and the animals.
Yeah, I don't like animals, Daddy. I can deal with animals. I wouldn't like it, but I can deal with it. It's just little kids.
I know I couldn't compare them to a body, a human, but still that would break my heart too. Is bad. I know what you're saying because you got to go in there and do the bodies. Everybody thinks Katrina wasn't bad. Katrina was bad.
Well, a lot of people don't know is in my early days, I was going to school to clean up crime scenes.
Yeah, well, Katrina was bad for New Orleans. It was bad. People on the interstate if they could get to the interstate, they were lined up. Katrina was bad. And I think these people in North Carolina now that they are going through that now. Something traumatic that they never thought they'd go through, they going through right now.
Yeah.
And it's really bad. And I sent you a thing. If you please put, if we can donate, like I have clothes. I have so much clothes, and that's why I save them. Everybody's like, bring them to the Salvation Army. I said, no, they're going to resell them. I save them for things like this. Okay. If I send clothes and stuff, I don't have money, but I can send clothes that I have. So, yeah, please post that. There's got to be a picture somewhere that they
if I hear anything about that, I know that we got some turtles that are going to go in and try to help, and I'm going to be raising some funds for them probably tomorrow because I think they're going this weekend, and I donated tonight to her. So Huntress was in here earlier. I think her and her husband are going out to help this weekend. So I just wanted to do my part because since I can't be there because all my vehicles are down, I can donate a little bit of money. I ain't rich, but I gave what I could, so.
Yeah, I can give $10, $20. That's about all I can do.
That stuff adds up. You got hundreds of people giving $5. Next thing you know, that's $500. Then it's $5,000. So it adds up. But look, you be good. You stay sweet, and I will talk to you next time.
Okay, Dolly. Love y'all.
All right, you be good. Peace. So yeah, a lot of people didn't know that. See, I went to school in college for hazardous materials, removing hazardous materials. And my goal was to clean up crime scenes, right? So I never made it to that. As far as I did work in the hazmat field, but I didn't get far enough along. I had more classes that I had to take to clean up, basically blood, right? So, but that was my goal. I was moving in that direction as far as my schooling, and I was working for a construction company, which I was removing hazardous materials, um, different things. So, but my goal was to continue school, get my license to clean up crime scenes, and I just changed paths. Like I said, my kid was born. I started my own business. I changed from construction to that, like demolition, to I owned a paint company. I owned a paint company for like 8, 9 years. I did really good with my paint company. Then it got real hard to lock in contracts because people were cutting the prices of it. There was a lot of people coming into this country and they were doing jobs really cheap. And time you have crews to pay, because it wasn't just me. I had employees. At one point, I had 9 employees, and I got to pay these people. And if you can't get the money for the job, right? And well, they'll do it for this. And how am I supposed to pay my guys? I wouldn't make any money. So I ended up changing fields again. And it ended up my business. I was in business for, I think, 8, 9 years, roughly like that. So, and then, I just took a different path. Like I said, life is like a trail, and you can veer off this way, and you can veer off this way, and you can veer off that way. Um, but I think I'm on the right path, right? You ever felt like you didn't know which direction you were going in life? I feel like I'm going in the right direction, doing what I'm doing. And so like I said, I feel like at this point in my life, I feel pretty blessed. Everything is pretty good for me. I'm not a miserable ass person, because I see some people up here on YouTube that seem like you need to find happiness in life. You know what I'm saying? That should be your goal, is to become happy, right? Because I think everybody, if you're watching, you want to live a happy life, right? Nobody wants to be miserable. Who the hell wants to be miserable? I try to stay happy. I try to do things that make me happy. And that's why I can laugh and joke and have that good time, is because I'm a pretty happy person. Now, I ain't gonna say I don't get down. I don't never get depressed, or things don't bother me. Sometimes they do, but I joke my way and laugh through life. I can always find humor in the worst things, right? At least enough to make me giggle, or lift my spirits a little bit. And I've become good at lifting my spirits and lifting other people's spirits. I think that's one of, if you said what quality you got, I'm pretty good at lifting people up. You know what I'm saying? If you having a bad day, you can hang out with me for a few, and it's like joy rubs off on you. So does anger. So does hate. Like if you're around hateful people, like even me, if I get around negative ass people, that negativity rubs off on me. So if I surround myself with good people, that good rubs off on you, and you want to do good. Energy is weird in this world. Like, you around the wrong people, you will have the wrong energy. That is important, right? That is important for your mental health, for just all around who you are as a person. If you got bad people around you in your world, you need to get rid of them. I don't care how cool they are to you, or how much you like this person, and you're just so used to this person. Oh, they're like family. If they're negative, they're negative, right? And that negative energy that they carry will rub off on you. You get around a bunch of depressed ass people, you slowly gonna be depressed about things. You get around a bunch of happy people, you're gonna be laughing, you're gonna be joking, you're gonna be having a good time. So get rid of the negativity in your life, right? No matter what it is, some of it you may not be able to get completely away from, but get far enough away from it that their negativity is not affecting you, right? Like I said, if that goes to the saying that birds of the same feather flock together. You got a bunch of miserable ass people that just hate everybody, and you can see this on YouTube. You can see channels that just sit up there and they're foul mouth. They hate everybody. They're just looking for an opportunity to shit talk you, right? You'll see it. I think YouTube represents the real world a lot because people don't change too much. If you come up here and you're a terrible ass person in front of the world, think about how bad you are when that camera turns off, right? If you hateful and miserable with the camera on you and everybody watching you, think about how hateful and miserable your ass is when the camera ain't watching you, right? It's so people, I think some people, the best thing they could do is watch their own selves. Is that how you want to be portrayed? Is that how you want people to remember you as? Right? Is that the kind of person that you really are? Or are you doing this type of stuff for clicks and views? If it's clicks and views is one thing, but if you're really that person that you perceive to be on the internet, that hateful and that mean and that disgusting and that foul, you're only worse when the camera's off. Okay, only worse. So the more of a story, be a good person, be decent. There's no reason to hate people, and bring a little joy into your life. Try to do things that make you happy. And I did take anger management, right? I took anger management because I had like an assault charge when I was in the band back when I was young. I kept getting into fights because clubs, you got people drinking, fights break out. So I kept getting into fights. So I had to take 12 weeks of anger management. And the lady would ask me, what pisses you off? And I would always tell her, paying for this class makes me upset because I don't need it, right? But I did, right? I think I truly needed that class because I did take something away from it. And, she was like, once, I accepted, okay, what makes you mad? She was like, well, look, you keep getting in trouble in these bars. Why do you keep going to them? Right? You're putting yourself in a situation where it could lead to you being violent. Okay, you keep doing it. You're doing it to yourself. And then, like, it started to click. It started to make sense. Like, why be around things that upset you? Why would you put yourself in that situation? And this is what the lady was preaching to me. She was also a parole officer, but I wasn't on parole. I just had to take anger management. And I almost got kicked out. And I'll share that story with you before I go. Okay. And the crazy thing was there's a few parts to this anger management story that is really funny. I would go to this bar all the time, and my buddy, I went and bought some shots, right? We were drinking shots of liquor at the bar. And the bartender, I said, let me get 2 shots. And I drink my shot of liquor. It's liquor, right? My buddy drinks his shot, and he says, man, and this is my best friend in this whole world. He goes, man, that shit tastes like water. And I was like water? He's like, well, it went down like water. And I'm just thinking, okay, you've already had too much to drink, right? Because if you can't even taste the liquor, you're done drank way too much, right? So we order another shot. And this time he looks at me and goes, man, that was water. And I was like, water? He goes, yes. He goes, I'm telling you, Jimmy, that was a shot of water. Now I just paid like $8-10 for this shot of water, right? Then it's $2. So this bartender got me for $20, right? Because he had a buzz. So what she was doing was serving him water, but charging me like $8 to $10 a shot for it. So I ordered another one. All right. This time I switched our drinks. Okay. And you got to remember, I was in a band, so I played at this bar. I knew the owner of the bar, and I took the shot, and it was water. All right. So then I tell the girl, I was like, you just sold me a shot of fucking water. And she's like, oh, no, I didn't. And I was like, yeah, I took that shot, and it was water. And she was like, well, y'all can't have nothing else to drink. I'm cutting y'all off. Right. And I was like, well, let me tell you something. I was like, I know the owner personally to this bar. I said, matter of fact, I'll call him right now. Right. I pulled out my phone, showed her the number, right, that I had his number right in my phone. And she goes, okay, your drinks are on me. Right. He's had too much. And because she didn't want me to call the owner. So listen, so now I'm in anger management, right? 2 different stories, right? But guess who's in anger management with me? The bartender. Okay. The damn bartender is in anger management with me. So they asked me, the lady asks you every day, what upset you? What got you mad, right? So I tell this parole officer, I said, well, let me tell you. You know what makes me mad is when, and I said this right in front of the girl. I was like, when you go to a bar and you're spending $10 a drink, and the bartender serves you water. And I look over at the girl, right? And you can see the look on her face. She's like, oh man, he's calling me out right in anger management, right? And she goes, why are you looking at her? I was like, because she's the one that sold them to me, right? And she looks over at the girl. She said, you sold this man some water? And she's like, yeah. Right. So she says, yeah. So anyway, so it's anger management class, and she goes, well, that ain't right. That's probably, you could probably lose your job for that, right? And she's like, well, I gave him and stuff free, and she's trying to defend herself, but I done brought this shit up in anger management, right? That, this is what pissed me off. And, the pro officer is kind of getting on to her about selling me water. And this is a funny thing because we in anger management, right? So, but by the time we're getting in anger management, me and the girl become pretty cool, right? We would talk and, ain't no need being enemies, right? So the anger management lady didn't show up. Okay. The parole officer, she was busy one day. So they sent us to the other class, which was a domestic violence class. Now, I'm not in there for no domestic violence, right? So we ain't supposed to really be in the class. But since everybody was there and the anger management lady wasn't there, they made all the anger management people go sit in the domestic violence class, right? This shit almost got me in trouble, this story, right? So you ain't supposed to tell nobody what goes on in these classes while you're in there, right? Because, there's other people you may, So anyway, there was like this 75, 80-year-old man, right? And so me and the girl, by this point, we're sitting in the back of the damn domestic violence class because we ain't even supposed to be there. And these people are, they're talking, and this old man, they asked the old man what he's in there for. And he goes, well, me and my old lady got into an argument. I'm talking, this dude was old enough to be on a walker, right? And this shit's still funny to me. It's still funny to me to this day, right? And he goes, well, we started arguing, and she just kept going back and forth with me, wouldn't leave me alone, and I was trying to get away from her. And I'm listening to the old man, me and the girl's just sitting there, and she's like, well, then she goes and blocks the door and won't let me leave the house. And in the anger management, the domestic violence people, right, which are parole officers and police that run these classes, they're like, so they asked them, well, when she blocked the door, what did you do? Right. And this man said, I slapped the shit out the bee. Right. And I couldn't help it. Because he was so old. Right. He was like, looked like Rick and Mortis was sitting there. Right. And I busted out laughing. I couldn't help it. The girl was laughing, and it made me, we are rolling. And look, so these police officers come up to us, step outside. Y'all get up, get out, come out of class. Right. And I'm thinking, I ain't even supposed to be here. Right now I'm in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So they drag us out the class, and they were like, what the hell do you think so funny? Right? You think somebody getting slapped is funny? I was like, no, I'm not laughing because the lady got slapped. I'm laughing because of the way he said it. Right? Like he said it like it wasn't nothing wrong with it. Right? Like it ain't nothing wrong with slapping. He's an old ass, like a walker. Right? But that's what he said. And it made me laugh. Right? So then, of course, that was it for anger, domestic violence class. Yeah, I can't even go back in. Right? At this point, they done kicked me, the bartender, slam out of domestic violence class. Right? No more domestic violence for your ass. Right? So the next day, the damn parole officer, and she ain't on parole. She's just the one that ran the class. She's like, I want to talk to y'all. So now I've been pulled out the damn anger management class. And she's like, y'all embarrassed me, because y'all wasn't supposed to be in there. It makes me look bad that you go in there and you don't know how to effing act. Right. And I'm like, and I'm trying to explain to the lady, that it was funny. Right? Like if you say something funny, how do you expect your natural instinct is not to laugh? Right? Like, and she's like, I'm going to tell y'all this. I have any problems out of you, your ass is you're going to fail the class, and I'm going to send it back to the courts. All right. And I'm thinking, damn. So now the anger man, maybe the lady's all mad because we laughed at this old man. See, somebody said, oh my God, I would have laughed too. And it wasn't that he slapped a woman that was funny. It was that he had the ability at like 80, 90 years old to slap a lady. And it was the way he said it. Okay. And that, I laughed. I probably shouldn't have laughed. But at the same time, I shouldn't have been there. If she wasn't there, they should have sent us home. Right. Don't put somebody in anger, in domestic violence classes that don't need a domestic violence class. That's family shit. That's husband, wives, and things like that. I had, I wasn't even supposed to be there. So, but anyway, she got over it. But my lesson of this is I did learn from that lady that don't put yourself in situations are going to upset you. It's stupid. You made that decision. Knowing that's like going to hang out somewhere there's going to be somebody you don't like. Don't do it. You made a conscious decision to go do it. I know that was a long story to get to that message, but don't put yourself in situations that are going to upset you. And that's what I took away from it. So at the end of it, I didn't feel so bad about paying for all them classes for 12 weeks because I did feel like I took something from it, And then I got a certificate at the end that said I was a nice guy. That was I probably was 25, 26 years old. So that was 25 years ago. But I still remember it to this day. So anyway, guys, it's been awesome hanging out with you. I'm going to get ready to go kick back. It's about my bedtime. So you guys be good, stay awesome, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.